see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.
Yeah, I was just turning off everything else. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fucking fine. Either way, guys, welcome back to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 42.
The answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Thank you for getting there before me. So that's what it's going to be called. What was the name of the supercomputer?
Deep Thought.
Deep Thought. That's right. And it looked like, for some reason, looked like a cartoon whale made of stone.
Nope. You're talking about from the movie.
Yeah, I mean, in the movie.
Okay, yeah.
So that's my only reference. I don't know what it looks like in the book.
Well, they describe it.
I can't see books. I can't. There's no pictures. I can't read it. It's fine. Okay, so things I forgot to talk about in the last couple podcasts we got together. Horrible back-to-back earthquakes in Turkey like 2 weeks ago. Totally forgot to talk about it. It's a really fucking horrible tragedy. Lots and lots of people died. Really bad. As for current day, the fucking horrible train derailment and chemical spill and chemical burn in Palestine, Ohio, which seems to be affecting everything local, including killing all the fish in the river, killing animals on the ground. People are getting sick, and nobody's talking about it. Or the news is not giving out enough information. Now, I did talk to a certain friend of ours who lives actually fairly downstream of that, or at least downwind of that area, and he said that they were not given any kind of warning or anything like that to look out for. But Bobby.
Oh.
So that's actually not that far from where they live.
Yeah, I talked to somebody that actually lives, like, he said it's only like a couple hours from his house. Lives there.
Yeah. And the scary thought is that when they burned the vinyl chloride, the liquid stuff on the ground, they burned it to get it out off the ground as quick as possible, right? Because it would have evaporated, but it would have taken a while. When they burned it, it turns into
semi-solid gas, right?
It turns into hydrogen chloride.
Oh God, which is so bad.
Which combines with moisture in the clouds and atmosphere and becomes hydrochloric acid. So everyone in that area, and there are storms inbound, and we're talking not just right there, but anywhere, because that shit went up and in the air. And there were rumors that in theory there was another train going the opposite direction at the same time, which was full of coal, which might be why it was burning so black when they actually did the controlled burn, which great, fine. But all the other like 40 or 50 other types of hazmat chemicals that were on that train, also not good for anyone anywhere. So prayers to anyone and everyone in that area, because they probably won't know the full extent of the damage for some time, because if it really is, if what they said is true, there could be raining acid there right now as we talk, and anywhere downwind.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Pretty much.
But I feel fine. That's the next part of that song.
Now, yeah. And I will say that train derailments are actually really common. It's like, I don't remember the exact number. I think it was something like 12 to 1,500 derailments a year.
Out of how many hundreds of thousands of shipments. So that's not that common.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, or was it a month? Either way, it's an absurd number comparatively, but most derailments just mean, oops, we knocked a car over. It takes like a couple hours to get a crane out there, fix it, and everybody moves on about their day. Very rarely does it result in like a really bad chemical spill or anything like that. However, they do tend to end in some type of death, like what happened here locally with one that hit an 18-wheeler that was trying to get over the tracks in time. And I believe it was the driver of that truck that died.
Man, people live their life like they've never seen Final Destination. Y'all need to fucking relax. Yeah.
But apparently there was no light or bars on that.
It was like one of those middle of nowhere country ass ones.
It was, but it wasn't at the same time, because right off a major highway, but it's probably an old one that isn't traversed too often, or it's one near a business.
Gotcha.
And that area of the freeway is really, really under construction right now, to where like they've got it down to like one lane on one side, and it's a nightmare. So either way, and then there's one in Arizona that they're dealing with. There's a bunch. It's just we're kind of hyper focused on it because this one was so bad, you know. But depending on the outcome, it could be as bad,
50 years
people are
from
calling
now.
they're calling it like the Chernobyl. We haven't had a chemical disaster like this in I don't even know how long. Anything like this. I mean, like oil spills in the ocean, really bad, but we can kind of clean them up. Horrible chemicals being spilled into the soil and the water, and it went right in the fucking right in the water, which is one of the main tributaries to the Mississippi River.
Wow.
So we'll see how well that works. Thousands upon thousands of fish dying and being washed downstream, and they get their main water in that area from the river. But luckily, they from what I saw, they cut off any intake tubes down river of that and switch to another source. But if it does rain and that shit gets into all the water sources nearby, or damages homes, damages everything, because it's hydrochloric fucking acid that might be coming out of the sky.
Right.
That's not a good thing. We were warned a lot about acid rain as kids, especially in Captain Planet. Like, this might be the first time in our actual lives we see it for real. Like, it's gonna be mildly terrifying for everybody who lives up there. As for down here, we'll see. I mean, Mississippi is close-ish. And then it, of course, does feed into the Gulf of Mexico. So there's that. So fun times. Crazy shit other than that.
They had the hot air balloon from hell.
Yeah, well, we've got all kinds of shit being shot down out of the sky, and they're calling them UFOs, but in the way of they literally don't know what they are. They don't recognize the systems that keep them in the air currently. Apparently the one that was shot down over the Yukon, I believe it was. I could be wrong, because there's 4 things that have been shot down other than the weather balloon. And one of them was like a weird like octagonal shape. And it was way too big to be like a normal drone. So like, what the fuck is this thing? So who knows what's going on? China's making moves on Taiwan. We're firing off giant rockets into the ocean. What the fuck? We just want to have a cool podcast about nerdy shit. I want to watch Ant-Man and the Quantumania, like Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania in peace, but I don't even know if we can do that. We'll see. Apparently on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a pretty bad score, according to what Mike shared.
Fuck Rotten Tomatoes, stupid ass opinions.
I agree.
Shit.
Yeah, because like I think all critics are basically biased against
Well, it's
Marvel
not just
movies
that,
at
it's
this
also
point.
the trolling thing, like we talked about clickbaiting and shit like that. It's the same shit applies to this. It makes people go run and look at it, and people are, oh my god, it's so bad, we should go watch it, and they're still gonna go watch it. So it's really dumb to base off Rotten Tomatoes. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, I mean, I don't do that anyways. I base my opinion off going to see the movie.
Yeah. I go watch it and I say it's shit if it's shit, and if it's not, then it's not. That's not true. You're already shitting on Indiana Jones and it hasn't come out yet. Exactly.
I wasn't shitting on it.
Yes, you were.
When did I shit?
Play back the fucking tapes. You were too. You were all talking shit, calling him old man Indy and dib talking shit about it.
No, what I was talking shit about was the horrible de-aging that they did in a couple of those scenes.
Well,
now, mind trailers
scenes.
aren't. No, the one on the horse, that is a full
I don't think that's
replacement.
him. I don't think that's him on the horse where he like rears up in the middle of the city, because they on the newest one they zoom in on that person. I don't think that's him. I think that's the bad guy he's chasing.
But they're both on a horse. They are. You actually see it. It's him and Boyd Holbrook, because he's one of the modern Nazi spies in the U.S. government or whatever. So
this is going to be more based on like Project Paperclip type stuff. That's these
I don't
Nazis?
know, because I think we're going to have 60s Nazis, but we're also going to have time travel somehow involved. We're going to be getting shit from the past.
Why does everybody think there's time travel?
Because I think the Dial of Destiny allows you to go back and change something. I think that's the whole point. I think that's one reason why we're getting so many flashbacks. They may not be flashbacks.
I think that's a little presumptive to think it's going to be time travel just because that's supposed to be what its power is, because the what you call it, the cup,
which the Holy
Grail. Thank you. God damn, I was farting on that one. That was supposed to give you eternal life, and nobody drank out of that one when they had the chance. The Ark of the Covenant was supposed to give you the power of God. Nobody used it when they had the chance. So just because this thing's supposed to let you time travel doesn't mean they're going to use it in the damn movie.
Well, the thing is, at least with the Ark, is it's like an unharnessed power of God. It's like you just let it out. That was the problem. But imagine you drop the Ark off at your enemy's door. They don't know what it is, and they pop the lid on it. Everybody gets nuked. And then you just go in, you pick it up again, because we saw once it's done doing its thing, the lid goes right back on it. You know, it releases the.
But that's what I'm saying is all these things have these capabilities, but they don't ever use them.
Yeah. Well, the thing with the Holy Grail was it brought his dad basically back to life. We don't know that he doesn't have eternal life because it was used on him to heal him instead of.
He didn't ingest it, so he didn't drink from it.
Yeah. But we know that the old knight who was guarding it did have eternal life to a degree until his job was done.
But not because of the Holy Grail, it's because he had a job to do.
It might have been because of the Grail.
Well, then why did he fade away and die just because the Grail got found? He should still be living. Forever means forever.
Because his job was done. I don't know. Well, remember, he doesn't even believe in magic except for the couple times he's seen it. You know, that's in the new trailer and the new Super Bowl spot. I don't know if you got the chance to watch it or not. I did post it in the Discord. So,
yeah, I did watch that one. That's the one I was talking about where they zoomed in on the guy on the horse.
So because there were two shots like back to back. It was one of him rearing up on it that is Indy, and then the other one is them both running through the street. So somebody's chasing somebody on a horse in that during that parade scene for whatever reason. But whatever the Dial of Destiny is, a lot of people have been speculating it has something to do with time travel to a degree, or manipulating history, something like that. You know, or predetermining your own destiny, and it just makes the world happen, something like that. Who knows? This one's like really made up compared to the other shit we've seen before.
No. The one that doesn't exist in my world is made up shit. At least the other ones had a fucking foothold in reality.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail are at least in biblical lore. As far as I know, the Dial of Destiny is just completely fabricated.
The rocks from Temple of Doom, that's just based in Hindi culture. It's rooted in reality.
I don't even know what that one is in particular, because I saw Temple of Doom as we talked before.
Crazy. Just crazy to me.
It is what it is. The new expanded trailer, so it's the same trailer footage with some extra scenes inserted, which is cool, but you see they're doing a lot seemingly of young-ish Indy, so we'll see about that. I know Mike and his hatred of Phoebe Waller-Bridge or whatever her name is, you know, she's going to come in and replace Indy just like she came in and replaced James Bond, you know, wham and be bad or whatever Mike says.
Replace James Bond. What the fuck are y'all talking about?
That was the whole thing, is that like in the last James Bond, she was the one who was going to be coming in to replace after James died. She was going to be the new 007. So
last I heard, it was supposed to be the same actress.
No, that never was confirmed ever. Like everybody wants it to happen, but in no way, shape, or form has Idris Elba been confirmed to be doing those things.
But I've never heard of a woman being cast as James Bond.
No, she's not James Bond. She's just taking over as 007 because James.
Are you talking about that black lady that was in the movie? That was the 007 while he was retired?
There's that. Yeah, there's that, and then there's Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who was also, or maybe she was the one who made the movie. There's some somewhere in there.
But it's Mike, man. Somewhere, it's a female. That's the worst thing ever. Got it.
It is in fact terrible.
You know who I'd watch as a female Indiana Jones? Ava Green.
I mean,
Kate Beckinsale.
I mean, basically, we don't need a female Indiana Jones. We just need more Lara Croft movies.
Yeah, but I'm saying that when I say Indiana Jones, I don't mean she needs to be Indiana Jones, but that type character.
Yeah, but I mean that's the whole point. Is like give us Lara Croft, and since we have the Uncharted series going too, and we have a young-ish Nathan Drake, and we have a young-ish Lara Croft that exists.
What do you say, young-ish? Tom Holland's what, like 23?
Yeah, but I'm saying like because a lot of Nathan Drake's a lot older in the games. He's not. Yeah, so what I'm getting at is like we have a Lara Croft and a Nathan Drake that are roughly the same age right now. We could have crossover universes. Yeah, and why not? Or have them compete.
Have them bone.
Like you could have one movie.
Make all the fanfic writers blow their load.
Yeah, so you could have all the Uncharted movie leading to one thing, and then the Lara Croft movies moving to one thing. Then you realize it's the same thing.
That'd be pretty cool.
And then you have a crossover movie because at the end of both other movies, they run into each other in the same place.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That
You
actually
should stop
would
saying
be
this
pretty
shit
cool.
on recordings and start charging Hollywood some
Make it
money.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Hollywood needs ideas.
They do.
I mean, they can manage
'cause they're
this on
fucking
TV
capped
shows.
on everything else.
I feel like movies aren't the way for everything.
Yeah.
Like, we need more serialized content that's actually good. Like, like video games don't need to be movies. Video games can be TV series and they work. Kind of like The Last of Us. So,
but I think Uncharted works because it's almost like watching an Indiana Jones movie when you're playing the games.
That's correct. But what I'm getting at, instead of pushing it into a 2-hour movie, give us 8 hours, like the gameplay would be, stretch it out a little bit. You know, we talked about that during Uncharted, but
no, during The Last of Us.
So either way, so we haven't gotten to talk about The Last of Us in like 3 weeks.
Has it been that long?
Chris, yes, we haven't talked about The Last of Us since episode 2.
We didn't talk about the Frank and Bill one?
No.
Really?
No, we have not. We completely neglected it that week, and then we haven't got to talk about it since. And because your mic or your internet sucked last episode, we couldn't get to it at all. Christine messaged me, and she's like, am I going insane, or did you guys not talk about The Last of Us? Or did you talk about it and I missed it?
I think we did talk about it because y'all made a big deal about saying, see, I finally watched it, so you can stop saying that.
Yeah, that was when we caught up to episode 2.
Damn.
So we didn't get a chance to talk about the Frank and Bill episode. We haven't talked about anything
Christine,
since.
I'm watching them all every day. Every time they come out, I watch them at least twice that week. And so, believe me, I'm keeping caught up.
Yeah. So, and I was watching either by myself and then again with the wifey, or we just watched it together entirely. So Saturday we watched the episode that dropped on Friday, which also made things confusing.
Thursday.
Well, Thursday at midnight, it's still Friday. It's technically Friday at that point. Either way. So, quick rundown since the Frank and Bill episode, because we legit didn't get to talk about that one, and that was the one that had the entire internet in a fucking tizzy.
I don't know why. It was a great episode.
It was a good episode of television. It was an episode that had virtually nothing to do with the Last of Us game, which is why everybody was pissed off.
Well, the guy who created the game is working on the show, and he said it's perfectly fine.
Yes. So, while the episode itself was great, I only have one small thing that I had an issue with.
What was that?
And it's only because
Bill should have been a brunette.
No. It's actually, I don't have a problem with the story and what we got. My issue is that they had a straight man play a gay man.
What do you mean?
So Nick Offerman is straight, and he played a gay man.
So?
The other guy is a gay man who played a gay man. So my only issue there
Will and Grace, that guy's straight in real life.
Okay, I'm not going to argue that point. Oh, speaking of Will and Grace, you know the Karen from Will and Grace is Nick Offerman's wife.
They're not real. I don't think they're actually married though.
Not they're either married or just.
I think they're that they're that
together.
libertarian. They're the liberal type. And they're like they don't.
It might be.
But yeah, she played his wife on Parks and Rec. She was Tammy too. She was the crazy librarian.
Oh, I still never.
You've never seen Parks and Rec? God, fucking damn it, Shoky.
No, but I've been watching Ron Swanson clips.
Ron Swanson's the man.
Yeah. So I really like Nick Offerman as an actor and then as a dude in general. Like
some of his stuff he gets far afield, but I'm okay with most of it.
I'm okay. But like I'm not actually bothered by the fact that they did that with the show where and I think the biggest issue and a lot of people misunderstood, they thought that Frank was a lonely straight dude who just happened to be enticed by a gay man. It's like, no, he was closeted gay. I mean, I picked that up the second I watched that episode.
They said it in the show too.
Well, he said that he had had sex before
with a woman, and the
and
gay guy said, good. "Me too."
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, but I think a lot of people seem to misunderstand that, and that's one reason why there was an outrage. It's like they said, like they made him gay, quote unquote. And it's like, no, he was gay and never did anything about it.
He was gay in the game too.
But people are also saying he wasn't gay in the game because apparently they missed all of the context and all of the subtext. It's like they were a couple and they split up. Frank got really pissed off at him about whichever thing, because we saw them at least fight in the episode. And then
Bill went off somewhere and got killed by zombies.
And then Frank did. Bill was the one.
No, Frank is the one you see in the game, the one with the beard.
No, that's Bill.
Are you sure?
Frank is the one. 100%.
Okay. Well, you see Nick Offerman's character in the game.
Yes. So the funny thing is the actor who played Bill in the game, who is the character's modeled after, is still around. So I don't know. I guess he just wasn't available, because it would have been cool to actually have the same actor playing the same character, because a lot of the voice actors are coming in for different roles. Yeah. Which is interesting. Like in the latest 2 episodes, the guy who plays Tommy in the games is the bearded guy with the AR. Yeah. So, and I like that guy for about 5 seconds, and then he was useless. But here's the thing. And I think a lot of people are getting pissed off right now because the creator said, no, it's going to be about as close as an adaptation as you will ever get. And it's going to be so close to the game. And then the last 3 episodes that have happened, while some things are similar to what happens in the game, they invent all kinds of new shit that they throw in.
I don't think anybody said this was going to be close to the game.
No, the creators actually did. They said everybody's going to be happy with it. It's going to be close to the game.
It's going to follow the story of the game, but they're not changing it. It's still dead on track. Everything that they've changed are offshoot side stories of the game, or things that are just slightly hinted at in the game. They have not changed any main thing of the game, except for how quickly Ellie has become like this feral child.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, at least we did get to see her get a little bit, little bit more scared in the last couple episodes. But okay, so with the Frank and the Bill thing, for everybody who didn't ever catch this, so Frank and Bill were a couple in the game, but we never see them together. We never see their backstory. We never see anything. We just see that Frank is dead because they go and find his dead body in the old bus barn or something like that, school part of town, because that's where the infected are. But in the games, Bill basically took over that whole chunk of town, not like a single street or block like he does in the show. So in the show, it's just practical sense. You're only going to take over a city block, but you're going to go take everything. Like him raiding the Home Depot, breaking into the power plant, turning the gas on so that you can infinitely have gas, which is pretty fucking cool. Like his survivalist instincts were great, but then what he was lacking was a reason. It's like he had a reason to survive. He didn't have a reason to live. And that's what Frank gave him. He didn't care about living until he found Frank, or vice versa. And I like that. And I like that we see them nearly break up. I like that we see them getting old together. I like how we meet we meet Joel and Tess. I was told not to talk about her. I almost forgot what her name was. And I like that they established that relationship to the point that, Bill bequeaths everything to Joel in the end, and then he takes virtually nothing. It's like the whole rack of fucking guns. Though. Yeah, the Silvercrest. That's my joke, by the way.
Yeah, that shit was funny, dude. I mean, it's not your joke.
Because realistically, no, I made that.
No, you didn't.
I fucking did. I fucking made that.
More cheers to you, because that shit was funny as hell, dude.
Yeah, no, I made that. I've downloaded the fucking Mandalorian font and everything. But yeah, it was the S10 Silvercrest edition. Because realistically, by that point, it's like, oh my god, this is just the Mandalorian.
It's even the same fucking guy.
It's the same fucking guy. But I like that they got the coloration right on the truck, but they just didn't get the truck right. I mean, not that
it's
that
a
matters,
Razor Crest,
but
not Silvercrest. I don't know why we're both saying Silvercrest.
You said Silvercrest and I said Razor
No,
Crest.
you didn't. Play it back. Play back the tape, Coach.
I can't do that. We're live.
Well, you'll hear it on the replay.
Yep, and I'll make sure that I record it and plug it in there if I had it wrong.
Yeah. What a
but no, the fact in the game it's like a new F-150 or something like that. Like it looks like a modern F-150. And they just didn't do that, I guess. So it doesn't matter. I mean, a truck is a truck. Who cares? I like the fact that you got to build the battery and all that kind of stuff like you would in the game. That's all pretty neat. And then road trip time.
For about 5 minutes.
For about 5 minutes. I like the idea of when they go camping on the side of the road. I love that he pulls way off into the woods to make sure that nobody will find them. And be like, well, as long as nobody sees your tire tracks, sure, nobody's going to find you. But that whole scene, and then her doing the punny jokes from the book, which is straight out of the game.
Yeah, like the dad jokes.
The dad jokes. Oh, that's what it is. It is dad jokes. And then like all that, like they're building their relationship together. That's all great. They had the porno mag that she finds in the back seat. It's also straight out of the game. just fucking funny. And then they get to Kansas City, which is not Kansas City in the game. It's a completely different city. I think it's Philly. Yeah, you're right. And
Pittsburgh
apparently,
it's one of them. It's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Apparently, this is another major change. Whereas you do deal with some of this stuff, like they crash the truck, the guys raid them and stuff like that, and then you end up with Sam and what's his name? The older brother. What, I can't think of his name now. I had it. Now I can't remember. But either way, basically you end up no. So some of those details are similar, but they add, like, Kathleen, not a character in the game. You don't see any of the backstory of the cities, as far as I know. Like, that whole chunk of, like, Whammon take over, and, you know, they basically rise up and kick Fedra out and or kill them all. Like, that, I guess, is part of it, but you don't see the main characters. This character doesn't exist. Blah, 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 blah. Everybody rages on the internet because there's no way a thick white woman would ever be able to manage to take over a city or take over as a leader. And, like,
it's Henry, by
dude,
the way.
she Henry? Yeah. It's like, literally, she Karen'd her way to the top. Why would anybody be surprised? But I like that, you know, basically because of what Fedra did, they said, fuck you. They made a rebellion and they took over the city, and then they became the new fascists. So there's that, you know, fun times. But in trying to hunt down Henry, because he was, I guess, because of Henry's decision, I guess, to save Sam, her brother died because, like, one could get treatment, the other one couldn't, I guess is what happened there. I may have missed that context, but Henry was directly related to why her brother died. Or maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, he snitched him out. Like, he sold him out.
Oh, that's what it was. He was an informant.
Yeah, he was the informant for Fedra, and he was trying to save his brother, and the only way to do it was to give up the big cheese, which was her brother.
That's what it was. Okay, see, I missed just that context, but I couldn't remember what it was for. I just remember it was tied to the leukemia talk about Sam and why he went deaf. So I missed the context. Okay, but I knew that he was a Fedra informant, and I knew that's why they executed all those other people and then burned their bodies in the streets like dickheads. And I guess the snowplow truck that, like, blows shit out of the way, you know, moves vehicles out of the way, is from the game, because apparently I guess it chases you through the streets in the game. So they captured that. And then getting caught up to it, you know, they nearly escape, and then of course they're found out. And then we finally get to see a big bad bloater on screen. Which, did you see how much that suit cost?
No.
So that wasn't CG. It was like CG enhanced, but it was an actual suit on a person.
Okay.
$250,000.
Jesus Christ.
Just for that suit alone. And apparently, you know, they had all the infected come out of the ground, right? So those were almost entirely real people that they all had to go do, like, zombie training.
Yeah, they did the, like, zombie running
a few
and stuff,
days. Yeah, so they had to teach them how to do it, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Not to mention, you know, the timing wise, where they needed to go, all that kind of stuff. And I love that, like, we see the backflash. Like, we hear that, yeah, they shoved all the infected underground. Nope, never going to see that as a problem again, ever. It's stupid motherfucker. It's like, yeah, shove the mushroom people underground. That'll take care of them.
Yeah, because mushrooms hate the dark, dank areas.
They hate being underground in the dark, dank stuff. And then I love that, what was it, the crashed Hummer? The crashed and blown up Hummer is basically what summoned them to it. And then the ground collapses, and like, oh, fuck. And then ultimately, Kathleen meets her end at the hands of a infected child. So the whole time where she's dealing with this shit, she gets killed by a little kid. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. That shit was wild, dude.
And then the emotional ending of the episode.
That one I did not like so much.
I saw that coming.
I think it happens like that in the game too, doesn't it?
I think so.
But still, it was just out of nowhere. I know
they don't make it.
Like it caught me off guard. Like, I either don't remember it from the game or it didn't happen in the game, because I did not see that coming.
I'm pretty sure they both die in the game, but I don't know if it had to do with
it. And I don't remember the change happening that fast.
I mean, considering they said that depending on where you were bit, you only had so much time.
I mean, it was like
you know?
instantaneous.
It was overnight.
No, she rubbed that.
Yeah, because
she rubbed that blood shit on him, and he attacked her almost immediately.
No, they went to bed. It was the next morning.
I don't think so, dude.
It was. Yeah, it was because everybody went to bed. She fell asleep. He was laying in the bed there. And when she woke up, he was sitting on the edge of the bed staring outside into the sun. So it was the next morning. So it was overnight. She was hoping that he was good because she clearly understands how medicine works. You just rub your perfectly good blood onto someone else's wound and that'll take care of it. Shit, for all she knows, it may have made it worse.
And she probably gave it to him.
Yeah, but I mean, he was bit. But I love
the fact that she is immune means that her body can still contract it. It just fights it off, so she could have that shit pumping through her blood. It just wouldn't affect her.
She could just be inactive or whatever. What do they call that?
Type A.
You're just not affected by it.
Asymptomatic or whatever.
Yeah, so she's asymptomatic. Like it doesn't affect her, but it could still be in her body.
Yep, and she could literally just be handing it out by putting her blood on people.
Yeah. So she's definitely not doing that again. I do want to know when we're going to get to the point where she will burn off her scars with acid so that people will stop noticing she's been bit.
I don't know.
Yeah, so hopefully soon because we know that they can deal with acid. So, but yeah, no, I mean, so far the series is good. I feel like it seems like it rushes through some stuff, but I get that we're really not. And it's 10 episodes, right? And we're on episode 6.
Is it only 10? I thought it was like 12 they were doing.
I think it's 10.
I mean, if you think about it, the shortest ones are 55 minutes. The longest one's been an hour and a half.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hours of television in this show.
I'm kind of annoyed when they do series that the episodes are different lengths. It's like, just make them all the same length and give us more episodes. Shit, what's the difference? It's the same amount of time.
I like the fact that they're not constraining the stories to a time frame. Like that Frank and Bill episode needed that hour and a half. You broke that into 2, it would have broke up the pacing of that episode. Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, there's a whole lot of people on the internet that gave up after that episode because they were just so mad. They said they were so mad because it derailed from the main story.
Well, fuck them. It's the side stories. It's the stuff. If you want to know the story of the game, go play the fucking game. You know, we talked about this. Like, video game remakes shouldn't be shot for shot of the video game. There are times when I want to see that, and weirdly enough, it's usually in animated stuff because it's easier to make happen. The suspension of disbelief is easier when you're just drawing Mario. When you're just drawing, Sonic. But if you're taking something that is animated and trying to make it live action, they have to look exactly the same, sound the same, walk the same, act the same. It's a lot harder to make that work.
Yeah.
So I think it's dumb. Plus, in a big open world game like this, that's how they missed out on the Frank and Bill stories, because you don't have to get all that information. You can go there, meet Bill, do your little side mission, and fuck right off. You don't have to go around and find all the hidden notes and the this and the that and the reading. If you don't know that stuff, it wouldn't make sense to you in the show.
No, I get I completely understand that. Like that, I mean, like fleshing out characters that we would basically spend roughly 10 minutes with otherwise is fine, especially if it's a well-written story. Yep. Now, the dude did say that the Frank and Bill episode was the biggest deviation that they have. So, I mean, people just need to calm the fuck down. It's like, it's not like they're not going to do the Joel and Ellie story, but people are wondering where it's going to cut off. Are we going to get the entire game in one season?
Oh, fuck no. They better not. That'd be a point. That'd be pointless as this show.
Yeah. So I think the thing is, I mean, like, if they do that, fine, because it'll get us to a second game. But they can't cut anything out, because in the next episode, according to the trailer, they actually make it to Jackson in the next one. Somehow.
Hey, Palpatine came back. Why not?
I just got to wonder if they ever found another car or if they walked the whole fucking way.
Yes.
Because unfortunately, they can't go back into KC to go wrangle up a vehicle because
now it's overrun.
All the infected are now all the infected are up and doing their thing. So what I found funny is that the infected had no problem coming up and dealing with all the fire and whatnot. They're like, they just didn't give a shit, but they were bothered by sunlight.
Fire doesn't create photosynthesis, though.
Yeah, but the heat kills them, but they don't care. Like, they're just like, fuck the fire, who cares? I mean, obviously the bloater's not going to give a shit. I mean, like if we actually eventually see them take one down, that will be impressive. I don't know if they did in the first game or not. I know
They took
obviously in the
clickers
second
down
game.
like real quick in the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Also, I want to see somebody getting bit. I think that's the one biggest problem. Everyone is bit off screen, and then they're like, "Look, I got bit." And they're like, "Well, fuck, we got to kill you now." And they're like, "When did you get bit?" Don't ask about that. Like Tess got bit like all up on her fucking collarbone and neck area.
yeah, how we missed
Like
that? Yeah.
that's like when she was in the other room with the other clicker. That's when that happened. And then given the proximity, on her torso, that's why she got infected so quickly. Obviously on your leg, it's going to take a few hours, a couple days, depending. A kid, with a lot less body to convert would probably go quicker. A tall ass adult bit on the leg. And you know what? I got to wonder this, going back to like the first episode, I think it was, when they were going around Boston and you saw the amputees. Were those people amputees because they cut their limbs off where they were bit?
It makes as much sense as it doesn't.
Yeah, because I always wondered about that, because they did that in The Walking Dead, which of course this is being compared to. So I gotta wonder, they never address that. They're like, okay, if you get bit on an extremity, chop it the fuck off
really
like,
quick.
immediately.
Yeah.
Like immediately, like what's the word I'm looking for there? Tourniquet that shit really fast and chop it the fuck off, and then cauterize that wound as fast as possible. And then in theory, like as long as you didn't have like an extended bite, like where it's literally just pumping that stuff into you like it did on a few people, if it was like a quick bite and go, then maybe you got more time. Yeah, because like in this one, we know the tendrils have to get in you at least. And those things are located in the mouth, which is still one of the creepier fucking aspects of the show versus the game. I would like to see some spores happen at some point, but they said they're not making that the main way everything spreads. I just hope they do it at some point. Like if they go into like a massively infected like hive or nest or whatever you want to call it, there better be fucking spores floating around. That would just make sense.
But spores don't really make sense in real life because you could never win a battle against spores.
Yeah,
like literally the only people that would be alive would be Ellie and people like her, like people that were unable to be infected. Everybody else would die.
Yeah.
It's in the air, everybody dies. There's no way to fight that.
Yeah, then that's the main reason why they didn't do spores in this, other than not covering their faces with masks all the time. All right, so I think that's about. Well, you didn't give your opinion on the thing. I get mine.
On Last of Us?
On the series so far. I
do like it a lot.
Yeah. Any criticisms?
My biggest one was the jump of forcing Last of Us 2 Ellie into Last of Us 1 Ellie. That's my biggest
that part,
critique of
it. That part I totally get. But I have a feeling they're going to backtrack on that pretty quick.
I don't dislike her character as much as other people do. I just don't like how we didn't get that innocent, scared Ellie before we got badass, crusty to the world Ellie.
I feel like she's not going to be that crusty, especially now that Sam died in front of her.
It's going to be even harder to backtrack that, though, because now that's a really weird character change. So she's going to get softer just to get harder again. That doesn't make sense.
Well, I think like it was an act before, but that's the hard part. Is like, yeah, her wanting a gun, sure. I mean, because she thinks it's cool until she actually has to use it on somebody, and then she immediately regrets it. And then seeing someone else die the way they did, like, because she has no concept of it. That's the thing. Like,
but she said that wasn't the first person she killed.
Yes, because they're gonna at some point they're gonna dedicate an episode to Riley.
Probably.
So in theory, maybe the last episode, like because they did that in between game. So in theory, I forgot what it was called. Left Behind, which funny. It's like every time I hear Left, it's like, where's Kirk Cameron? Oh, dude, what if they did an episode called Left Behind and Kirk Cameron was in it?
Guest starred in it as a gay guy.
That would be awesome.
Awesome.
That would be great. And apparently Bella, what's her face, whatever her last name is,
them lady.
Yeah, so apparently she's been running her mouth online, as Hollywood people tend to do, and because people were complaining about all the gay stories and stuff like that. She's like, "Well, you better get used to it because it's all we're gonna get from now on." And then there's gonna be a trans character in there too, and it's like. Okay. I'm like, and? It's like, we know Ellie's gay. I mean, it takes a minute to get there. Spoilers for other people.
Not in the game, she's not.
Yes, she is.
I'm pretty sure she's pregnant too, isn't she?
No.
I've never played it, but I thought she was pregnant.
Nope, that baby's not her. She's in a lesbian relationship.
Oh, okay. I never played 2, so I'm not arguing you.
Yeah. No, the second game, it's like I think in the first game she tells Joel, and then in the second game she flat out has a girlfriend and they're living together, and then in a time skip they get together, and I don't remember where the baby comes from.
Is that why everybody hated that game?
No, everybody hated that game because of the other character in that game.
Oh, okay.
Wait, do you know the major events of that game?
Nope.
If not,
I've never played.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about it.
I don't care, dude. Because that game's how many years old now?
2 is 3 years old.
Gotta be more than
that. Give or take. No, because the first one's 10 years old. It only came out just a few years ago, as far as I know. But no, the major thing is the characters that die, and then the fact that you are forced to play as the character that killed them for half the game.
So Joel died, and you gotta play as the person that killed him.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, even without you trying to, that's you still gave enough information for me to fill that slot in.
There's some fuckers I saw in comments on video. Actually, it might have been. Where did I see that comment? I don't remember where I saw that comment. It might have been on Facebook or something like that. It was some dickhead who said, "Just cut to the 9-iron already." I was like, "Fuck off." It was like fucking dick. I don't know. I don't remember who said it. I don't remember where it said. It was like, just go fuck yourself, dude. But like this, and like the thing is like, this is not a story of we win, because in the end you cannot end the infection. Like, that's the problem. Like, I'm not gonna talk about how the first series is gonna end, because there's some people out there who haven't played the game, so I'm not gonna talk about the ending. But well, if you know Ellie's in the second game, whoop-de-doo. You know Joel's in the second game, whoop-de-doo. Our main characters survive until the second game.
And then only one of them survives that.
Yeah. So, but like, it's not a game about coming out on top in the end.
That's what she
like
said.
it just, yeah, it is. And then she said again. But either way, I mean, it's a good series. I still have my issues with it that all just pertain to like minor nitpicks. Like, I do wish that Pedro Pascal had a thicker beard. I wish that what's-her-face looked a bit more like Ellie, not just dressed like Ellie. It's like, it almost seems like cosplay instead of acting to a degree, and it's like, I think that's what bothers me about it the most. I'm getting used to it because it is a good show. It is written well, and it's acted really well, and then of course it's HBO's budget. I mean, if it had like, I don't know, Fox's budget, it would suck. If it had like even The Walking Dead,
like CW bullshit.
In The Walking Dead, like, its biggest budget was like early seasons, as far as I know, you know. But like the CG explosion of the CDC and in the first few episodes is so bad compared to anything that they've done in this one. Like, I think the fire has been real. Most of the explosions have been real. I mean, the plane and shit, the plane crash and stuff on the first episode was obviously CG. They didn't go that far. And I think I mentioned this, like, you know, playing off Canada as fucking Texas is slightly offensive, at least to me. But yeah, it's like, I'll be like, you know, I spent a lot of time in Austin. I don't remember that. I don't remember those streets looking like that. Those shops, don't think they looked like that in 2003. They did their best. They did their best to dress Canada as Texas, but still, not so much.
Not enough barbecue sauce and inbreeders.
Yeah, but when they were talking about the highways they were driving off from, I was like, huh, that looks a little bit more like San Antonio than Texas, if I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, I know that intersection. It never looked like that. I was like, fuck that. It's like, it's just funny. But either way, just to get that out of the way, because I know Christine would lose her mind if we went through a whole episode and didn't get a chance to finally get caught up, because she has been wanting us to talk about it for a long time. So obviously watched all that. The rest of my week, we watched them. Well, we talked about that last episode. Yep. So we talked about that while you still had some microphone. Or you still had some internet. You need, on your week, you need to tell us about your PS5 adventures, but then we'll get to that. You have to remember all that.
Okay. I think I know what you're
Yeah, because you never got to tell us that story. Unfortunately, Rusty's not here to confirm what his thoughts were, but I am here. So we watched a movie on Netflix called Your Place or Mine. It's a new movie. It's Ashton Kutcher and damn it, I just had her name in my head. Now I fucking forgot. Reese Witherspoon.
She's still acting?
It's okay. Yeah. Oh, she's been on TV shows like for a while. But like still looking pretty good. And they do a de-aging scene where they're supposed to be in like their early 20s. And holy shit. I don't know if it's a body double or they just did some nice makeup work to her, but holy shit. And like she's still looking good. But either way, it's fun. It's fine movie. They tried dating once, it didn't work out, and then they've been best friends for 20 years. Rom-com ensues. And now she's a single mom. He's a single dude living in New York. She's in LA. And then she needs to go to New York for a 1-week college course, I guess. I don't know. I missed the explanation for that. But somehow, like, to finish out her degree or whatever was like a 1-week course at this one college. So she says, hey, can you come watch my kid while I'm in New York and I'll borrow your place? So, you know, so it says your place or mine. So they literally switch houses. And like, it's fine movie. Maybe it's a good, like, I wish we watched it on Valentine's, which, by the way, happy post Valentine's to everybody out there. Hope it was good for you, whether you're single or not. We did good. But that would definitely been a good movie to watch on Valentine's instead of what we did watch last night on Valentine's, which was Black Adam. So we finally sat down and watched Black Adam.
And you chose Valentine's Day for it.
Yeah, I said fuck it. You know, I didn't want to watch another dumb series that people are murdering each other. Like, Jessica watches all kinds of crazy shit. Like, she watches like murder mysteries, fucking, you know, I killed my husband, you know, things like this, people under the stairs, all this fucking stuff about killing people and torturing people. I'm like, should I be worried? Like, this is a little fucking weird. Like, I watch anime and I don't think I'm ever going to do anything they do to you in anime, but you could probably do all of those things to me. But Black Adam was good. She actually was like really into it. Like, she was like fully engaged in it and stuff like that. Like, I figured she would have checked the fuck out, but like, the most annoying thing is basically The Rock, if I'm honest with you. But I liked the expansion on the Shazam story, like, in general, you know. So it like serves as a backstory to Shazam. And then of course we got Shazam 2 coming. Although that being the last time we see Henry Cavill as Superman is kind of a letdown. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, I did forget the other thing that came out that we're going to talk about. I forgot there was another movie trailer that dropped. And then we can talk about it. But other than that, I've just been watching Castle. Just come home, watch that, play God of War. Which I think I've gotten to the point that, you know, we did a whole God of War conversation earlier. That'll be a separate episode. So if you guys want to hear about our adventures in God of War, you can hear that because Ricky's been playing his finally on his second PS5. And then I did a couple videos. What day is today? Today's Wednesday. On Monday, I filmed a couple videos. One explaining the future of my channels, including this one, which realistically not much is actually changing here. But I will be putting that out sometime soon. I got to figure out all the setup so that I'm ready to go when I drop the video. Just kind of make things easier. You know, can't say that this is happening and then not have it ready to go when it happens, you know, because then it looks pretty bad. So, I actually sat down in front of the camera for the first time in like a month, I think. Like, and it was a little awkward if I'm honest with you. It's like I haven't, and then I also had to sit in our extra chair in here because it was in the way because Jessica joined me on a live stream last week, so the chair is still set up from that. Still trying to figure out the tech problems. I can't seem to run 2 sets of headphones. Because it only will output through one of the microphones headsets. I mean, technically speaking, if I set it up with a splitter, like a normal splitter, which I have a splitter, but I don't have long enough cords. Like, so our headphone cords are actually really short. So I would need like a little extender, and then I could do it the hard way. I think I am eventually just going to get a little actual board, like the proper like soundboard, and plug the microphones in. And that way I only have one USB source into the thing, and then we both will have our own volume and stuff like that. Because I think one of the changes that will be coming soon is that she and I are going to be working on doing a podcast together. just something, podcast or live stream, something with us, because I figured that'd be something we could do. Because I know a lot of people who do podcasts with their significant others, and most of them are good. Some of them are crap, if I'm honest, but a lot of them are good. And I already told Bobby, I was like, hey, look, I'm probably going to be borrowing a lot of what you've done. I talked to him about the other day about my plans, and he's like, really? You sure about that? I'm like, yeah. And I talked to him about it, and he's like, okay. You got to do what you got to do. So like all the changes he's made to his channel are basically ringing pretty loud with me. So it's like, yeah, I'm kind of in a similar boat, if not a worse boat. So, that'll be that video will be dropping sometime soon. Thing I got in, other than the car parts, I ordered a new ignition system for my car, because it's been running like ass lately. So, shout out to Modern Performance down in Houston, because at least with the proximity, they have the parts in stock and they're here the next fucking day, which is actually pretty cool. Saves me a trip down there to get them, but needed a whole new, I'm just doing all the ignition because I have no idea how old any of it is except for the spark plugs. And I don't think the spark plugs I have in it are good, because like they didn't want to sit right when I put them in like 2 years ago. So I got plugs that I know are right. I got brand new wires, brand new coil, all that. So hopefully that'll help. I made some modifications to it at work, actually, because I thought it was overheating a little low on coolant. So I added a little bit of coolant to it. And then I moved one vacuum line off and then put in a breather so that'll stop sucking oil into my fucking intake. I was like, I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Let's just run this fucking tube from the crankcase directly into the intake. That will be great for future, It's like you need the venting, but otherwise you're sucking oil vapor. And like every time I take off the fucking intake to like clean the filter, it's all just soaked in fucking oil, because it's all it does is just sucking in the oil and it just sits there. So I said, fuck it. I'm just going to put this breather back on, because it was on the car when I got it. And they had it hooked up in such a weird way. I'm like, this doesn't go here. What the fuck is this? So when I realized where it was supposed to go, that's when I put it back on today. And then did one other thing. What was it? Oh, fun times. So I put the new radiator in a few weeks ago, right? And it didn't want to fit right. So everything is a little tighter under the hood than it used to be. And my radiator fans were in a really odd position, if not squished directly up against the intake manifold, and also the tubes and such that are right there. So when I was looking under the hood today, I noticed that one of my radiator fans was arcing somehow against the AC lines, because I looked down and I saw sparks. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But either way, I jammed a piece of rubber between that fucking hose and the fan, and I'm probably going to back off one washer and see if it'll solve that problems. But either way, the other thing I got was the NECA Alf figure.
I still want to get that. I'm like on the fence with it.
Yeah. It looks really good, but I actually compared the 3 that were in hand, and I got the one that the fur was done best on.
Gotcha. So
because some of them didn't have the shading. Huh?
Paint app issues on some of them.
Yeah, the belly, because he's got segmented body, so you can get posability. The center part of his body, the belly area, on the one I grabbed, actually had the wash over the fur. The other 2 didn't.
Gotcha.
So it's like torso and legs have the wash, tummy no wash.
And just brown,
like, so his
fur in the middle.
Just exactly. It was fucking weird, but he looks so cool. I love Alf. Oh, now I just saw your message. That's fine.
Oh, you just thought I was being super quiet?
Yeah.
Funny.
Well, because I heard a noise and I didn't know if it was you or something actually fell.
I had to go pee.
Like it might have been on your end, but it sounded like something
couldn't
fell
have been on mine. I'm muted.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what I heard then. And something fell somewhere, and now I got to go figure out what it was, because it wasn't in my room, so it might have been out in the kitchen or something, which also strange. What was the other thing? Oh, so for Valentine's last night, I got the wifey a couple things. Like, I try to mix it up. I don't like just doing flowers and chocolates stuff for many years. That's all I did. Like last year, I got her chocolate dipped strawberries and I think a bottle of wine. I forgot what the other thing I got her was. It was something like that. So I went to HEB yesterday and they had all kinds of like combo things. And so I got her this one that was like, because I didn't want to get her too much in the way of chocolate, even though she loves chocolates. She stated very clearly she didn't want chocolates. But I got her a thing that had like a huge box of Skittles and then a bunch of like gummy worms and stuff like that. And then a little heart, like a little jar that had like a heart, I love you heart balloon coming out of it. And then it was full of chocolates. It was a little thing though, but it looks cool. And then you know what what are they called? Not mushmallows. What are they called?
Peeps?
Maybe they're no, smushmallows.
Oh, the pillows. Yeah.
So she wanted one of those the other day, but like she wanted like one of the really big ones, and I'm like, I'm not buying you that. And so
dude, I hope you didn't cave and do it because it's a slippery slope, man. Kara fucking
no, I know
those goddamn things out there over my fucking bed. I gotta like pack people out of my bed to be able to go to sleep at night. It's crazy.
Yeah, so she's not the collecting type, so that's not going to be a problem. But I got her one that was kind of meaningful because like there's two things in her life that are like symbols for her. One of them is butterflies and one of them is ladybugs, and they had a ladybug version. But it's also like inverted colors, so it was like black with like red spots instead of red with black spots. I was like, this is actually cute.
You're talking about the Squishmallow pillows, right?
Squishmallows, yeah. Yeah. So it's a smaller one. It's not one of the big motherfuckers. And like, because they had the baskets of them, and like the big ones were like 25, and then the slightly smaller ones were like 11 or 12. I forgot exactly what it was. But then I grabbed the one off of the like holiday aisle, I guess you want to call it, seasonal aisle, and I thought it was going to be in that like $12 range. It was $9. Like fuck yeah, it was even cheaper than the ones that they had over there, and it was cute. So and then I got a couple of the because they do the heart shaped steaks, where they butterfly two steaks and then put them back to back.
Gotcha.
So it looks like a heart.
Gotcha.
But there were a couple of ribeyes.
That's pretty cool.
So made those last night. Dude, I've only cooked steak twice. Like, because I just don't do
in
steak
your life
very often. Yeah, like I've never bothered to really make steak. Like I'll make everything else. I just don't tend to fuck with steak. So, like, after the last time we talked food and, the whole conversation we had about...
That might be the craziest thing I've ever heard a Texan say, man.
Well, I eat steak. I don't cook steak.
With cooking steak. That's crazy.
I just don't cook them.
No, I don't fuck with the beach, man. Fuck the sun.
Living in Florida. I don't fuck with the beach.
I'm saying living in Florida, though. It's crazy.
Dude, yeah, but you can call me Anakin because fuck sand. I hate fucking sand. It gets into... It's coarse. It gets into everything. I fucking hate it. I don't care. I fucking hate the sand. She loves the beach. I fucking hate sand.
I love the beach too. I was joking. I was saying it would be like
I know, but it's a texture.
Yeah.
It's a texture thing for me. It's some people have what do they call it? Sensory disorder things.
Artistic people have it a lot. People that are really good at painting stuff.
Sure. So for me, I have something like that. It is a sensory thing where I can if I hit the right kind of texture and it tends to be like sand related. Just thinking about it right now is fucking doing a thing. It will completely shut me down. Is it making you
hard? What is it doing?
No, it's doing the exact opposite. No, it's a tingling / cringy sensation, like at the base of my
skin
neck
type stuff.
Yeah, it's that. But just thinking about that feeling will start giving it to me. If I actually experience it, I can shut the fuck down.
What about kinetic sand?
Kinetic sand is different because it doesn't build up the way regular sand does. Damn it! I'm thinking.
Do you blame trimmers for your hate of sand?
No, I don't. I like the movies of trimmers. I think they're all fucking great.
So then, what's your best guess at why you have a fucked up thing about sand?
The best thing I can think of is that because I can kind of tell you where it may have started. So when I first got into wearing flip-flops as a young kid, whatever, you're 10 or 11 years old, whatever, still riding bikes and whatnot, the back roads of our neighborhood were still dirt and sand. And I had to ride back there to go to my uncle's house for some reason, or I guess my cousin's house. Maybe I was going over there and my dad wouldn't drive me, so I had to ride my bike over there. And like a couple times I got stuck in the sand, just the bike tires wouldn't go, and then it got between my foot and the flip-flop. And it's just like that grady feeling. But then that same feeling was replicated by like really dried out crayons. You know what I'm talking about? when you go to color with them, and then it's it's almost like sandpaper. Like that is where it started. And I know it started young. But like as a kid, like a little kid, I didn't give a fuck. Like go outside, play in the dirt, go to the beach, play in the sand, whatever. Didn't care, didn't give a fuck about anything. But somewhere in there, that sensation like became like the worst fucking thing to me. Like I'd rather fucking smash my foot with a hammer than deal with the fucking sensation of
That's crazy, dude. That's batshit crazy.
It is, and I'm telling you, it's a sensory thing. Like it's one of the few sensory things, and also like if you get something that's gritty, like if you drink or eat something that's got some grit to it, like that's not as bad, but it does bother me, And given my job, I experience a lot of dirty, dusty.
So how would you like
places.
sand a table?
That part doesn't bother me, like because it's making it smoother, not rougher.
But I'm saying touching sandpaper would do the same thing for you.
No, because it's actually a different sensation. Because I was a woodworker for a long time.
I still work virtually.
I can build virtually anything out of wood. I grew up my dad as a carpenter, so
okay, Jesus.
That part has never bothered me. I didn't die at 33. I died at 26. No, 24. Sorry, I died at 24. So that part doesn't bother me.
Try to one up Jesus. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I had this just when I was talking about Joe earlier. One of the things I talked about was like sometimes it feels like you're living in hell, And I made a joke. Well, it's not really a joke. It's kind of a feeling I've had most of my life. For some reason I thought I wouldn't live past 24. Like there was no reason to ever think that.
I blame Coolio.
Like, yeah, there you go.
You got it right.
Yeah, I got the joke. But I mean, like before that song even came out, I had this in my head. And like I either predicted my own death or I saw one of my previous lives' death as a kid. I don't know if I ever you might not
I've listened to the first couple episodes. I know how you feel
where I talked about my premonitions. So I think like either in one of my previous lives,
that's what made me decide to join. I'm like, these guys are fucking psychos. I'm not fun
to do. my universe hopping and my predicting the future.
I was like, I can get drunk and fuck with these dudes.
Exactly. So, but like, and this is just a weird insight. Like, it's just I felt like I was gonna die at 24. Now, as far as I know, I didn't experience anything that would have killed me at 24. Although the way I look at it is like, considering how life has gone, it's entirely possible that I did die and I've been in hell the whole time, and it's just slowly
just living in the Matrix.
it's like life, because of all the things that have happened. Like everyone here is experiencing what I'm experiencing, and it's my hell. But the reason it's getting worse is because they want to just lure you in without you knowing life had changed it all, and it just slowly gets worse.
Well, your hell is
and
awesome
worse and worse as torture. Yeah, on your end.
Yeah, but that's why your hell.
Yeah, but that's why it's my hell, because everyone else's life gets to be better, and mine just keeps circling the drain. I get to make friends and then lose them. I get to have good relationships and then they burn to shit. I get to have things and then lose them against my own
nihilistic
will.
As shit, dude.
At this point, yes, very much.
Dude, I'm like, dude, you just got to spend the night with your wife who loves you and put us up with your silly shit, and then we'll fart on you to make you laugh. I mean, it sounds like you got it pretty good to me.
Dude, she farts on me way too fucking much.
Yeah, see? So right there, sounds like you got it pretty damn good to me.
No, I mean, that's torture. She farts on me too much. I told her one of these nights I'm going to fart into her fucking CPAP when she's asleep.
Dude, oh my God. That'd be the best ever. So it's direct injected right into her mouth.
It'd be really fucking hard. I mean, like, we both had those hot farts that, clearly are peeling the paint off the walls and you have to leave the fucking room. But you never know when they're going to be that bad. They just happen to come out and they are that bad.
Yeah, I've had those like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. All right, so speaking of farts, going back to the steaks, like I said, second time only I've really made an attempt at steak, and like they were pretty thick. They're about 3/4 of an inch, maybe a full inch thick. Hefty fucking ribeyes. And
so most meat your wife's ever had.
Well, no, that's not true.
That one was for you, Sean.
No, she dated a black guy at one point, so that's not true.
That's racist.
Not my fault. He had a big.
That's not true. I've seen enough porn to know that ain't fact, Jack.
That ain't a fact. However, it's a pretty big average. It's a pretty big average.
Oh.
So I'll tell you what, though. No, I'm not having that conversation right now. We'll do
not during February, partner. We are not going there.
No. I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna. Well, we already had a talk about black people in February, so it is what it is. So no, I was gonna say that at some point we should talk porn, but not on a normal episode. That will have to be behind a paywall, because that's not going to be YouTube friendly.
Mine will be.
So either way, yeah, there you go. So either way, so salt and pepper, both sides, little garlic powder. That's it, and let it get to room temp before cooking, so I'm not fighting its own internal coldness. You know, throw the little tiny bit of vegetable oil in the pan, get the pan hot, throw the shit in there, like 3 minutes per side, and then I put them under the broiler in the oven in the pan for 5 minutes.
So you're trying to get to a medium.
Got it to a medium. Now the thing is, I was just kind of guessing on that.
You know the finger
like I know she like.
Have we had that conversation?
Huh? No. I know. But like the thing is like when I pulled them out of the oven, I put my thermometer in there, and I guess the ambient temperature was still really high.
Rest before you use those.
Well, yeah, but normally they warm up, but I put the probe in there and it said 165. I was like, fuck, I overcooked it. And then I pulled them off the pan so they stopped cooking. Oh, by the way, I threw in
rosemary,
2 tablespoons of butter. No, I threw in 2 tablespoons of butter after the first flip. So, and then added some onion powder and some stuff in there. I wish I had fresh herbs. I would have made herb butter. But either way, having them sit there and basically fry in the fucking butter on the second flip was actually good. First flip, you know what I mean? So anyways, pulled them off, set them on the plate so that they would rest while the green beans were still finishing. And then I'd already made the potatoes. And I said, fuck it, I'm not wasting all this butter and grease and meat leavings in the pan. So I just grabbed a little bit of red wine vinegar, splash of red wine vinegar in the pan, and then a fucking tablespoon of fucking flour, and just went to fucking town with the whisk.
Pan gravy.
And made some fucking pan gravy. Nice. And I didn't even taste it initially. I just said, fuck it. It'll be fine. You know, it'll be fine. And then I fucking took that first taste. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, God damn, this is good. Yeah, it was the red wine vinegar. Yeah. Just that extra kick made it. And then I added more black pepper, of course. But I thought I had some fucking beef broth. So I could have made some brown gravy instead, but I fucking didn't. I must have thrown it away a while back. So either way, that was fun. She fucking scarfed the whole plate.
Nice.
Like the whole, like last time we got steak, she didn't finish it. She brought half of it home. You know, when we went to Texas Roadhouse. Like, she ate a fucking big pile of fucking green beans, a fucking good old thing of mashed potatoes with gravy, and then the whole fucking steak. I was like, damn, woman.
Nice.
I was like, she enjoyed it. And like I said, I thought I overcooked it until I cut into it, and it was like a perfect medium.
There you go.
I was like, I accidentally got it to exactly right.
Always trust the process, man. Always trust the process.
No, see, this is why I watch cooking shows. Or I go off of that one particular episode of fucking Letterkenny when they talk about how to cook steaks.
Man, if only you knew somebody.
Which is actually fairly accurate.
Message or call real quick.
Well, you were busy with your own Valentine's, I assumed.
I know. Rikki doesn't celebrate Valentine's Day, sir.
It's all good. Speaking of which, how was your week?
Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, worked a lot.
Yeah, you always work a lot.
Kids were sick. The wife was sick. On my days off, I took care of them.
Was it just seasonal nonsense?
It's like this thing going around the schools right now. It's almost like a strep throat laryngitis type thing, but it's not. It's not contagious. It's just you get it.
Clearly, it is.
No, it's not, because the boys had it before they came over, and she got it because at work. So it's probably more. It's not like contagious, like breathing around each other. It's probably passed through like touching stuff.
Food, water, something like that.
So they got them from separate sides of the county, you know, because she doesn't teach at their school. She teaches at other schools.
Well, yeah.
But it's going around through the schools right now.
It's going through the school buses is what it is.
My kids don't ride school bus.
I know, I'm just saying. Yeah, but other kids do.
Not true.
Yeah, other people's kids are the problem, not your kids.
Bunch of pores. Drive your kids to school.
Hey, I rode the bus all the way up.
But guess what? I was a pores when I was a kid too, man. I was a single parent mom. Well, okay.
we just lived like my dad could have taken me to school and occasionally did, but like rarely until, of course, I could drive. But like, I enjoyed the bus.
Yeah.
Like, that's where all my friends were. Like, it was fucking fun. And then our bus driver was a maniac. Like, it was great.
Back when they
Like, because we were the first people on and the last people off, so we got to have all the fun. Like, she would. So, quick side note, because this story's great, and we're gonna leave names out of it just in case she's still alive.
Miss Crabapple.
So, never knew Crabapple.
No, you don't remember that.
Crabapple? Miss Crabapple from The Simpsons.
Yeah, it's Crabapple.
Yeah, but it's Crabapple.
It's Crabapple.
I know, they just say Crabapple. So either way, no, what we would do, because we had a really long straight road in our neighborhood right up front, and then the loop, it was a loop, but it was a square, so each side had really long straight. So what she would do is we would pop the emergency exits on the roof, and then we would grab on, and she would accelerate up to whatever speed and then slam on the brakes, and then we would swing and see how high we could get.
That's awesome.
You know, if we hit our feet on the roof, it was great.
That's awesome.
The fact that we talked the fucking driver into this repeatedly was great. It wasn't until somebody saw what we were doing and they called in that we had to stop.
That's crazy.
The other thing is we had a really big culvert that created a hill in the backside of our neighborhood. So we would all ride around just to be able to go over the hump as fast as possible.
That's awesome.
So we'd sit at the very back, so it'd be like a fucking lever action. And my best friend actually hit the fucking ceiling.
Jesus.
Like, with his backpack, mind you, but still, like, he and the backpack went up, but his backpack hit the ceiling.
That's awesome.
So that was awesome. Like, shout out to her. She was a fucking... We had a bunch of good bus drivers, realistically. So either way, back to sick kids and wife.
Yeah, so on my days off, I was off this past weekend. The way my work schedule works out is I'm off every other weekend. So my weekend off, I spent taking care of the wife. The boys were on the tail end of it, but she was just getting her ass kicked. So took care of the kids and took care of her. Hung out, watched some TV, played some video games.
Yeah, about that.
About what?
Your adventures in PlayStations.
Oh, the prior week.
Yeah.
You said last week.
So
all right.
Well, it was kind of last week.
It's going to take a while to get there. You'll probably guess the end, but halfway through the story, but it doesn't matter. So, for my birthday, which was at the end of January, my wife had told everybody for my birthday to give her gift cards, and she was going to pull it all together and then go get me. We talked about this part before. Go get me a PS5. Yes. And we went there. It was closed, so she had to go the next day. Yada yada yada. PS5.
And then she brought it to you on the
while we were on the show recording. My youngest brought it out, and then
that's right.
It was on like a Saturday we picked it up. Well, I was off that weekend, but I remember what was going on. We were like crazy busy, so I wasn't off and able to even touch it for the first time until like Thursday, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I sit down and play it. I don't know for what, half the day. Like, I was super excited. I finally got to play God of War. Then I paused it to do something, and I came back, screen's blank. Like, what the fuck? So I have this thing because in our house, we're gamers. Me and the boys are. More so me, but they're gamers in their own rights now because they grew up with me being a gamer. But in the living room on the big TV, we have the PS5 now. It used to be a PS4 we put in the boys' room. But PS5, the Xbox One, a Switch, an NES, an SNES, and an N64 all hooked up to the big screen. Well, when we got our newest TV, the 80-inch that's in there, it no longer had multiple RV jacks. So
say what?
Not RV jacks.
Yeah, I was like, what do you?
You know what I mean? The colored plugs for
RCA.
RCA. Thank you. I don't know why I said RV.
Yeah.
RCA.
Yeah, I don't either.
Jacks. And
I think you were thinking AV cables.
Probably. But then the old three systems all have those, the RCA jacks, and there was only one. So I bought an RCA splitter that allows me to branch all three and put them into one. Well, then I found out they have this one where you can run RCAs and convert them into HDMI. And by having that, I then had too many HDMI's to plug into the damn TV.
So you had the same problem.
Yeah, but now it was HDMI. So I got an HDMI splitter and had it all set up with the PS4 and everything. It was fine. So when I got the PS5, switching them out, put PS5 in, ran it that way, it worked fine. Like, because I still had the PS4 in the living room. So all the original stuff, PS4, Xbox, and the 4 Nintendo things were ran through the HDMI splitter onto HDMI 1. I plugged the PS5 into HDMI 3.
Gotcha.
And then I would just, input change to go to it. Well,
yep.
It's not so much that I'm lazy. It's just I'm more one of those types. I have to trim the fat off. I like to make it as simplistic as possible so you can get in, get done, and get out. So my thought came to be, I'm going to move the PS4 into the boys' room, upgrade them from the PS3. Since we have the PS5 and they're backwards compatible and I have the disc PS5, I can play PS4 games on it. So moved the PS4 in there, unplugged the PS5 from the HDMI 3, plugged it into the HDMI splitter, and it stopped working. Like that's when I paused it to go out of the room and come back. And I paused it, switched it to the HDMI splitter, went and did something, came back, and it wasn't working. Started freaking the fuck out. So I'm Googling online because if you've never played a PS5, it lights up around its body.
Yep.
And it does multiple colors. It's supposed to tell you different things. So I looked up because in my head, the solid blue is when it's on and running.
Yeah.
It's not. It's solid white when it's on and running. It starts up blue.
Oh, it starts blue,
yes.
Goes white.
And then I have one of the stand chargers for the controllers next to it, and it stays blue. So in my head, they matched each other. It was blue and blue, right? Well, I look over there, and it's white, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I Google it, because, I went through the red rings of death on Xbox with a roommate and all that, or the green rings of death, whatever the fuck they were.
Red rings of death.
I went through all that with him and his 360 back in the day. So I'm like, fuck me. And I'm like, that's why I like to wait a year to get a new system, because you don't have to worry about that. And here we are almost 2.5 years into this system, and I'm like, there should be no issues left. They should have figured all this. And then it clicked in my head, but we're really not, because a lot of these were sitting in warehouses waiting to be shipped out because of shipping problems. So this is probably all still first generation shit that we're just getting 2.5 years later. So I'm like, fuck me. Looked online. They're saying, oh, well, if it does that, all you have to do is go to safe mode and then do some resets. And it tells me how to do that. So I do that.
Treat it like a computer.
So I go to safe mode. It shows up on my screen. I can see safe mode. I got it all going and all that. And it tells me to unplug it for like 60 seconds and let it sit. I let it sit for like 20 minutes, dude. Like I left it for a long time to give it time to reset. Plug it back in, still not working. Go back to safe mode. And it's telling me to wipe its internal drive. And so I did that. So now.
Oh, that's why you lost progress.
Yes, everything saved into this thing was gone from that moment forward.
And you put all those fucking games on there.
Oh, I didn't. I only downloaded 2.
Oh, I thought you transferred a bunch of stuff.
No, I transferred my save, the apps and stuff, because I have PlayStation Plus, so I'm saved to the cloud. The problem is, we'll get to that. It comes up when the PS5. So
okay.
It tells me to wipe it all, so I wiped it. I'm like, okay, so now what? It says, okay, well, if you do that, you go down to step 5, which says, reinstall base core or whatever the fuck it says, some phrasing like that. So I'm like, cool, go down there, click on that. The first thing that pops up says insert USB drive that has original core on it. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking? I didn't save a copy of the original before I fucking did all this. You motherfuckers didn't tell me to do any of this. So
yeah, it's basically a backup drive for Windows.
Yeah. So now it's done. It's toast at this point. So it's completely wiped out. I can't see anything except for safe mode. So I call GameStop. I'm like, look, here's my phone number. You can look up my premium membership thing or whatever the fuck we have over there. I was like, you see that on there? You see where I bought it? And he's like, yeah. And I'd asked Kara, I was like, do we have the warranty on it? She's like, yeah. I was like, do you see our warranty on there? He's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. How do we make it happen? He said, pack it all back up, bring it over here, and we'll swap it out with one that we have in store. I'm like, cool. Yeah. You have one there? He's like, yes. I'm like, okay, I'm going to repack it all. I'll be up there. So repack it, which I told Kara, I was like, you can make fun of me all you want to. because she does all the time for it because I'm OCD as shit. But if you go in my garage and the storage units in my garage, I have boxes from my PS3 all the way up with everything still aside. Anything that's wrapped up, anything that's tied up, anything that's anything, I still have it saved. Like I keep it all together. And I said, no, you can't make fun of me because look at me. You would not have known this PS5 had been opened if I hadn't have told you it was.
Yeah.
So I take it back.
I threw away all mine.
Yeah, I don't. I take it back.
Well, in this case, I threw it all away. Most of the time, I saved that shit, but I just couldn't this time.
Take it back, switch it out, come home, hook it up, still doing the same fucking thing. I was like, motherfucker, I'm about to put my foot through the fucking TV at this fucking point.
And by the way, he's messaging us all of this.
Yeah, I'm doing voice texting, like voice messages in Messenger to the group message while like this is happening. One I was at home and one I was on my way there. So it's still happening. I'm about to put my foot through the fucking thing. Like nothing's working. And then I'm finally like, swap HDMI cables or something to see if that works. Same thing. So it's still doing the same thing, but the HDMI cord that was originally on it, when I plugged it into something else, it still worked. So I'm like, okay, so its HDMI cord is not messed up. It's something happening between here and there. And I can't remember who, Kara or somebody. She's like, well, maybe it happened because you plugged it into the splitter instead of keeping an HDMI 3. I was like, motherfucker, I bet you that's what it is. Maybe it's, it's too fast. The splitter doesn't keep up with it or something. So I plug it back in HDMI 3, works perfect, 0 issues. So I completely lost everything, wiped that whole system, went through all that trade out for fucking nothing. It was just the cable was plugged in the wrong thing. So now this is the end of that story, right? Incorrect, sirs and madams. That is not the end of the story. Because after I got done playing the game, kids came over on the weekend, they go to play the Switch, and they're getting the screen of death. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening now? And when I say screen death, it's literally like a screensaver on my screen. It's like nothing's plugged up. Yeah. So I slide the TV out, and I unplugged the splitter and replugged it back into the TV. He got a perfect connection. 0 issues. I was like, motherfucker. So it had nothing to do with HDMI 1, 2, or 3. It had to do with the splitter had come unplugged from the back of the TV. It wasn't feeding all the information into the TV. It was giving it just enough to see the reset, but not enough to run the graphics of it.
So when my microphone wasn't working earlier, did that remind you?
Is that why you remember? Did you hear me say just unplug it and replug it back in? Like that's exactly why. Like it was so I went through.
But the irony is, just like you, I checked the one end,
but not the other.
Not the other.
Yeah. So fucking.
It's like, why the fuck?
After all that, and then I was still pissed because I'd put in that full day of gameplay on it, and all of it was gone. It had a previous save from the very first time I played it.
You know why?
Like 8 hours.
Do you know why it went through though?
Huh?
Because safe mode, like the fact that it worked after, like when you bypassed it, obvious. In safe mode, it bypasses the graphics card.
Okay. That's why it still worked.
That's why it could come across.
All right.
That's why.
So what I was saying about the save though is I still had to figure it out because on my PS4s, it's automatic. You save to the system and it saves to the cloud automatically. Obviously, I did not have that set up on my PlayStation 5 because all that save file was on the PS5 and I erased it and it never hit my cloud. So I got to get in there and tune my auto syncing, I guess, to get that fixed. So I had to replay that whole entire day. I am not I don't play games. Let me correct myself. I try not to play games in my house when the boys are here that I'm not okay with them watching, seeing, or overhearing. And I phrase it that way very specifically because the boys, and I love them to death, and they are the sweetest kids in the world, both came to me and said, look, y'all just got us a new TV in the room. We can go hang out in the room and close the door so you can fix your game and get caught up to where you were. And I was like, I love you guys to death. I would never make you stay in your room just so I could play a video game. And they're like, oh, it's okay. We're telling you we will. I'm like, and I appreciate that, but I'm not going to do that. It would make me feel bad. It's not worth that to me. But what I did do was I have a TV and a PS4 in my office. So I just brought it in here so then I can close my office door and they're still free to roam the house and do whatever they want to do without being constrained. I constrained myself instead of them. So now I'm just kind of digging it because I come in here, I turn my lights on and, you know, all my display cabinets and stuff. And I have my gamer chair. It's one of the ones that sit on the floor like the rocking gamer chairs. I just sit down there and I have like my collection all shining down on me, and I sit in the dark and play my God of War. Pretty fun.
Yep.
Plus, I also fixed it and made it better. I got the proper color case swap for it.
Yeah, the case swap.
Yeah,
that doesn't void warranty, right?
No, because it's from PlayStation. You order it from them, and you don't have to, like, literally, dude. If I told, okay, so when you're looking at the top of your PlayStation 5, you know where the PS symbol is. You just slightly lift that up a little, and then push down. The whole face just slides right off.
Nice.
So, and then when you do that,
I might swap that one.
You just do the opposite. You just drop it into place and you push up and it clicks into place right there. And then the bottom is the same thing. It's just there's no PS symbol. You just push away from the drive.
Yeah.
So it was simple. So now my PlayStation is black like it's supposed to be, and I have my black controller to go with it.
Yeah. So I actually looked at the controllers the other day, and they had the black ones in stock. So I'll probably get one this week. There's one other thing I wanted to tell you about it while we were doing our God of War talk earlier. And I forgot. So there is one more secret to the game that they absolutely don't tell you. You may, where you're at, I don't know if you can make use of it or not, but just something to look out for. You know, the amulets, you know, where you put in all the different sigils or whatever.
6 of the 9 or something like that.
Okay. So once you get all 9 unlocked, like you can do the different combos of stuff, you know, you put either the ones that just give you more powers or the ones that, you know, each one 3 from each realm or however many you want to stack, and it gives you that boost. If you put 1 from each realm, it gives you a different buff, like a secret buff that they don't even tell you about in the game. So basically like the Infinity Gauntlet, almost like you just put in all
what does it do?
Gem. As far as I can tell, because once again, it doesn't tell you this, it basically just buffs everything after you do like a combo. Like, so you do like just a beat 'em up combo, you get a buff that basically increases your strength, runic, everything, because you like become stupid powerful in that moment. And it's for like 9, I think it's even for like 9 seconds, just to be more ironic. But like it adds a glow to you and all kinds of stuff, but you get like stupid strong for that amount of time. And it's like, I think not buff of the 9 realms, something of the 9 realms. But it's pretty cool. But yeah, just something to look out for when you finally get all 9 slots open, is you can do that. You don't want to necessarily do that right off the bat because there's a lot of good buffs from different combos you might want to do later before you finish the game. But after the game and you want to do any wandering around, it's worth having on. Once I've done it, I've left it on. Except for one experiment I did, just to.
So you've done it, so it works.
Oh yeah. Like I saw a video because it's in my feed now. I like watch a lot of the God of War, like you missed this detail fucking thing, or best armor builds and whatever. And so I went through the other day, just for the heck of it, because I'm done with the game, and I just started switching out different armors and then going through the same Muspelheim trial just to see if it was harder or easier. And like there was one set where like it gave you some cool power ups, but ultimately wouldn't get you through the fucking trial. It's just like you couldn't survive the actual onslaught. It was pretty fucking crazy. So like certain things are more effective, you know, whether that's a attack or runic or your massive defense or health regeneration. There's one I'll tell you that you absolutely need to put on as soon as you can. It's the one that gives you the ability for soul steal every time you hit a health stone.
Okay.
So any nearby enemies, you start draining their life.
Nice.
And I think there's a pommel for one of the weapons that if you do a certain thing and activate a runic attack, it will do soul steal as well. So you can kill them faster just by being in their presence.
Nice.
So it's actually pretty, there's a lot of really cool ones in there. You just got to pay attention to what they are. So, you know, it's fun. I already told you some other secrets on the other chunk of podcasts. So either way.
And then I got some crap in.
Okay. So last episode, you didn't really get to voice the what you got in with the Pinky in the Brain situation.
I got Pinky in the Brain in.
Okay. The Super 7 Pinky and the Brain set.
And then I got
you said the articulation.
They're pretty good. I mean, for what I mean, they're lab mice, so I mean, I don't, really have to do much. It's not like I got to get them into Spider-Man poses.
No,
but they're pretty good for what they are, and I love them. It's Pinky and the Brain. I have a little Q-Fig statuette that's been on my desk for years.
Yeah, we saw that.
So now I got this like actual figures to put on my display. So I'm really looking forward to that. And
so if you do the cage,
I'm totally doing
diorama.
Quit! No. Edit all that out because I don't want anybody stealing my damn idea.
Dude, they're all gonna do it. It doesn't matter.
Fuck 'em.
But I'm gonna give you this idea for fun. You need to put a little Bluetooth speaker up underneath it, like in the bedding,
that plays the song.
that plays their voices.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna.
Get some voice recordings.
I've already got it all worked out in my head, and I think I'm gonna put the hamster wheel in there too. Everything.
You should.
The whole thing
you gotta have water bottle, the wheel. But I was thinking like just hidden in it.
Yeah.
Occasionally, if you flip on the switch for the light or something, it'll be like
make them talk.
Or when you turn the light off in your room, they instantly start having a conversation.
Funny,
that'd be fucking dope.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
That'd be awesome.
And then
or at least do the punchline or the catchphrase.
And then I got I don't remember if I talked about the New Age version 2, Ironhide and Ratchet.
You did. That part came across.
Okay. And then I got in a set of the Jack's Pacific World of Nintendo stuff.
Yes.
I got in Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, a Koopa Troopa, and the Piranha Plant, and then Donkey Kong's on his way.
That big ass Donkey Kong?
I'm assuming so, like the 6-inch one.
Because they had one that was roughly their size, and then they had like a fucking massive.
Oh, and then while I went on my pee break, I went and grabbed that Metroid to see if this is the same one you were talking about.
The Samus?
Yeah.
Don't break it now. Oh, that's the Varia suit. Yeah.
Like, so the same one that you have? It's not.
I've got the normal suit. I've got the regular suit one.
Because this one comes with the ball too.
Yeah. So they all came. They were just different colors, but they all came with the same shit. But I've got the normal suit one. So if you want,
but it's the same figure.
Same figure, but it comes.
I don't know why she seems so small compared to the rest of the World of Nintendo stuff.
Because she doesn't scale with them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
Yeah, they're the same size figure. They're a size class. They're not a scale class. But like the like all the Mario stuff scales properly.
Yeah, the Mega Man does too. I have the Mega Man out there.
So the Mega Man stuff scales properly. The Metroid stuff, which they don't have much of, scales properly. They just don't scale to each other.
But I'm saying like the Mega Man's like the same size as the Mario.
Yeah, but I mean like they kind of would be. But like she's not because
did that go?
I don't know.
I just dropped her ball for him somewhere.
Well, that's lost forever now.
No, I went underneath my desk. I just don't need to wear it underneath my desk down here.
Yeah. I mean they're fine figures. I mean I've got a bunch of the Marios, like I was telling you. Metal Mario, Hammer Bro Mario, stuff like that.
I just have they're just the regular ones, and I got some of the other ones out there. I don't even know if they're the same.
I mean I've got Peach's Castle and everything.
No, you got the big castle?
Yeah. I always
came with Bowser.
Yeah. So I've got the little Bowser that comes with that. I had the big Bowser, but that went to Bobby. I got a bunch of that stuff. The big Bowser was actually pretty cool. Not gonna lie. That one, the 6-inch, quote unquote 6-inch Bowser, was actually pretty cool. Yeah. So either way.
And then
God damn it. I suck, dude. Like I forgot because we got off on the whole God of War conversation, I forgot the things that I got today. That's how fucking dumb I am.
Oh, I got my new ball cap, because coaching Isaac's team every year.
Oh yeah, new baseball season.
Yeah, baseball season started like 2 weeks ago. But it's just preseason warm-up stuff. Yeah. But we're the Indians this year. So I don't ever like the hats they give us, because they're, the Velcro or snapbacks, and I like fitted hats only. So I have so many. Every year I've coached, I've got a fitted hat that I've bought off Amazon or got from Lids or something to match the team that we're playing on. And so like it's so random for if somebody's like, "Oh, you really like the LA Dodgers?" No, the fuck I don't. I just coached the Dodgers 1 year, so I have that hat. Yeah, you like the White Sox? No, the fuck I don't. Let's just have the cap over there. So I had to order a new Indian's cap, and that came in.
Same logo and everything, or is it just the text?
It's the big C on the front, and then it says Indians on the back.
Gotcha.
I'm
amazed.
surprised they didn't force us to be Guardians, but they're still the Indians.
Be the Guardians.
Yeah. So I got that came in. I'm trying to think. I don't think I had anything else coming out. I don't remember.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, this is the problem with like our schedules being so fucked up. We tend to forget shit. Like it's like there's too much time between episodes, so we forget things. Not to mention just being busy in general. So like one other thing I did was actually I finally got the frames in so that I could frame my artwork stuff that's been sitting around for like a year. So I got my Supernatural baby print up on the wall. You know, the car. So that's finally up on the wall.
Oh,
for
the
first
car
time.
From Supernatural?
Yeah. So the 66 Impala. And then I got my Mandalorian one that's the same size. I got that hung up. I redid all of the way my art was hung up in the bathroom. I got to post pictures of that. I need to get some more command strips to hang up the last 3 and actually figure out exactly where they go. Because like most of them are horizontal, but I have 3 that are vertical and are all 10 by 14, I guess is the size. I think. Is that what that is? No. Not 8 by 10, but it's a standard size, but I know one of them was like 11 by 14. Yeah, that's what it is. It's 11 by 14. The other ones were 11 by 17. Those were the weird ones. But like, I went to go price to get this one thing that was 24 by 33. I went to Michael's to get custom framing priced out. Fuck that. Like if you have like a really rare, like expensive piece of art, go with a real custom frame because they'll fucking do it to the nines. But there was no reason to fucking spend it on this particular print, even though it is a limited edition print, was not fucking worth it. And the lady actually said, look, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but if you go on Amazon, odds are you're going to find the frame you need and the size you need. And lo and behold, I went on Amazon and fucking found one for a reasonable price. So the biggest piece of art is hung up. And so basically my bathroom has become like the art area. And except for the one that the one of baby I've got hung up above my door in here. So I've got all this space up really high on the walls, but I don't have any available open wall space. So any artwork I'm going to hang is going to have to be up above the door frames, basically. Because above the Billies, you know, at least on the one side, I'm going to be doing the Gargoyles display after I get all these Gundam boxes out of here. And then on the other side, I have no idea what's going to go over there because my display is going to be changing over time now. So we'll see what happens. But I figured out I'm going to hang up my proton pack. Like, I forgot who it was in the realm. We were having a conversation about it. So he got one of those like rake hooks from Home Depot and screwed that into the wall to hang his proton pack on. And I think I have to get the stud finder out, but I think there's a stud dead center of the wall where I've got it sitting right now on a Calyx.
I thought you were hanging it on your door to your closet.
It's a hollow door, so I don't believe that's a good idea.
Okay.
I thought it was a solid door. It's not. It's a hollow door. But I got permission from the wifey to do that, where I can display it there. But
are you talking about you didn't want to drill holes into this hollow door?
Just don't, because it's so heavy. I wouldn't trust without anything solid to be screwed into.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to screw it in. I'm looking at it right now. I got one hanging on my door. It goes over the top of the door for like hanging jackets.
Oh, no.
And stuff on the back, like the hooks.
No, that was my initial idea. My initial idea. But then, like, I kind of like the idea of having it displayed in the hallway where everybody can see it. It's not just going to be in here. And then I can put Ecto 1 below it. So basically have my Ghostbusters spot, you know. And then the thing I forgot about today is I went and got new comics and the latest Power Rangers and the final issue of Batman Beyond the White Knight, or Batman Beyond the White Knight. The final issue came out today, so they finally wrapped up that story. Which it wrapped up kind of quick in my opinion, but it would have basically once I got through the final battle. But the important thing is what it teased. So because like we didn't really know other stuff was coming in with the previous releases, like just like, oh hey, they announced that they're doing a sequel series, so they're continuing after this. There's going to be a short story that's about the Joker's kids. Which is going to be quote unquote produced by Sean Murphy, but different writers, different artists, but just in his universe. Which will be interesting. And then the sequel series that they set up in this one, which is World's Finest White Knight. So they're doing the DC World's Finest kind of story. So they ended with Bruce and company being approached by the FBI. And they're like, hey, thanks for taking down Powers. We didn't know we could do it, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, hey, we have a proposition for you because we need somebody who knows how to take down superpowered beings. The FBI agents that were talking to Bruce were Diana Prince and Jon Stewart. So, and can you guess the picture they showed him of what they need help with?
Brainiac.
Nope, some kid in Smallville, Kansas, who suddenly developed powers. So in this universe, Superman Clark Kent landed later, so he's a teenager. But Wonder Woman and Green Lantern technically are working for the FBI right now. So they're going to be building up to a Justice League. Based in the Batman Beyond the White Knight universe, which is kind of cool. And they blatantly put it on the fucking cover. So it's literally like new Bruce, like in his new suit. And then Superman right below him, like flying up at him. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. I like that they're sticking with this universe and they're giving us more stuff, because prior to this, no Justice League, no other superpowered people, just the Gotham stuff. So like reaching out, like almost like it never happened, like due to situations. But it was, this final issue was great in the fact that we get to see the 89 Batmobile doing something new. Because apparently it has a boat mode that he built at some point. So it actually does like Mask. Like no joke, it looks like a Mask vehicle. Like it has some hydrofoils come down out of it, and the center bit like comes forward, flips over, and then the wheels go flat for support. It's like, I was like, what the fuck is that? And then even Powers makes a comment, God damn, that old thing still runs. And then so Bruce prefers the 89 Batmobile, which is great. And because Powers stole all of the previous Batmobiles and has been cloning them to do whatever. So it's the Batman Beyond Batmobile carrying the 89 Batmobile into battle. And then he drops it into the river so that he's making an aquatic attack, and then he's making an aerial attack.
Crazy.
So, yeah. And then they got Jason Todd and Dick Grayson in that Batmobile arguing over who should be driving and who's called Robin. Because Bruce just says Robin. He just says, Robin, do this. And it's like, you talking to me? No, he's talking to me. It's like, so they're fucking big dicking it out. It's kind of it's fucking funny. Because they were just fighting each other prior to this. And now they're forced to be on the same team because Bruce divvied out who was doing what. And then because Bruce was so tired of him, he transferred the Joker's program into Terry's batsuit. So now he was bothering Terry and helping Terry get through the battle and do what he needed to do. And the whole time he's like, I don't know why you took this one. We should have taken a tumbler. And he's like, the tumbler doesn't do water. He's like, well, we could have jumped over everything. It'd have been fine. And so when he needs to do a certain thing in the Powers building, because now the Joker has agency somehow, like he can interact with physical objects with a holographic form, like he upgraded himself. So what does he do? He fucking goes and gets the tumbler. He's like, yeah, I get to fucking drive it. It's so fun. It's funny. Like he's crashing through walls and shit with the tumbler. And then he goes and rescues Jackie, his daughter, who apparently has some of his quirks. So Bryce seems to be the normal one. That's the son. Jackie's the daughter, and she's like Joker Jr. almost. Gotcha. Like she's wearing his outfit and shit like that. She dyed his hair or dyed her hair to look like his, and like she's got like his fucking eyes. So like, and she has his laugh. So it's almost like one of them is Jack and one of them is Joker. Jill. It's pretty cool. Almost. So it's actually pretty cool. And then like Harley and Bruce like get a nice shot of them holding hands going into battle. I was like, oh, Like they actually got to have their moment. But there was the awkward moment where now she can see the Joker in his holographic form, and they're all in the Batmobile together. And he's like, "Oh, this is an awkward love triangle." Like, thanks for calling it out, dickhead. So it was an interesting wrap up to the story, and then build to the future. So that was good. The Power Rangers comic still doing good, but they're having to figure out how to get where they're going with the new story. But it's pretty cool. Now we have the Omega Rangers back, and so it's fun. And then I finally read the Last Ronin, The Lost Years, the first issue.
Oh, the Turtles thing?
Yeah, so it's a sequel and a prequel. So it's picking up like a few months after The Last Ronin ends.
But then they're talking about shit that happens.
But then we're also seeing the previous, what happened to Mikey in the 3 years, or I don't even know what the time gap was. He said he basically isolated for like 3 years, and he basically went up a mountain to die. Then he didn't die, so he said, "No, fuck it, I'll just try to find peace." So he spent 3 years like a monk almost, until these assholes fucking find him like randomly. They just come in and they fucking start attacking him because he looks like a monster, and then he just takes the beating until he finally fucking snaps. And he's having flashbacks to a battle with the Foot Clan where he like pussied out. Like it's a full on like war. Like the other turtles are out there, they're slaughtering fucking Foot Clan, and Splinter is screaming at Mikey to get off his ass and join the battle. It's like I will not. He's like, get off your knees and fight like the warrior you are. I will not let you leave to die a coward's death. I was like, fuck, Splinter. I was like, damn. I was like, okay. And then that kind of motivates him to get off his ass, and he defends himself, and then comes down the mountain and finds the same guy destroyed the local town, and then he just goes fucking ham. I was like, so it's actually kind of cool that we're getting both the backstory and the continuation in a new comic, because we get a new set of turtles, which are all little weirdos. So new set of turtles in the future, and then we're seeing what Mikey went through in the years before becoming.
So he's going to become the new Splinter to the new Turtles?
No. Mikey's dead. Mikey died at the end of the Last Ronin.
Spoiler, piece of shit.
Hey, you already had spoilers on everything else. So we have a new set of turtles being raised by
April's daughter.
April's daughter, and we actually get to see them now for the first time. As they're growing, and like they're all very different looking. They're all different types of turtles, and like one of them is definitely more Raph related. One's definitely more Leo. One's more Donatello. And like because they look so different, it's a little weird. Like one of them's more of a snapping turtle, one's clearly like a soft shell,
so it's more like the cartoon that just came out a couple of years ago.
Kind of, yeah, kind of. And one of them is female. And they all have different
Venus
names.
de Milo.
No, they don't. They didn't do any of those. I don't know where they got the names for them. I'm sure it's a reference. But they're all weird, and they're all like 3 letters. So I have no idea. But anyway, I've read that before we came on to do this, because I was like, I've been sitting on this comic. I need to fucking read it. I was like, and I was like, it's new comic book day. They actually got everything in stock. Yeah, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. You know how normally I get all of the White Knight cover variants. So there's a 1 in 50 cover that's really fucking expensive, at least for a comic book. And I'm like, I can't bring myself to buy it right now, since I just had to buy car parts. It's $60 fucking. And I'm like, just for a variant cover. And I guess it's a foil cover, but I'm like,
which means it's actually worth way less than that.
In theory, yeah. It looks cool. I'm just like, I can't fucking. If it had been in store, I might have bought it, but it was not. It's like, it's online and I could get it, but I'm like, I'm just not. Like, it's going to be the one cover variant I did not get from this run.
Womp, womp.
Yep. So, womp, womp, womp. And by the way, I did see that they have another hardcover collection coming out, because I know you were interested in them. And I think, I could be wrong, it might be a reprint of the deluxe version of the original White Knight story. I could be wrong. Or what it is. Oh, wait, no. It's the hardcover version of Beyond, but it does not include, as far as I know, doesn't include the Robin or Red Hood side story, which the deluxe will. So I have to wait on the fucking deluxe, or I'll just buy that anyways. Whatever.
Have them both.
Have them both, I've already got to order other shit, I'm into these hardcovers now, so It is what it is. All right, so we're running pretty. We're not running long, but we're running out of time in the day. So let's just do the last couple things here to discuss. We already discussed Indiana Jones earlier in the thing because we just went out of order. But there is a first like image that got released from the Joker 2 movie. And it shows, you can see Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn and the Joker up close with his makeup on. It's an interesting image. You know,
well, first of all, it doesn't show Harley Quinn. It just shows Harley Quinzel. I would bet that that's her as her doctor form, not as her crazy form.
It might be. I mean, it's hard to tell because like she's like
she has
fully
no
like
makeup or
embracing
anything
him
going on.
I mean, yeah, we don't know if she's gonna have that form. We don't know what she's gonna look like in this one. That's the thing. It's like, who knows if she'll even have a crazy outfit.
But like her hair's not miscolored; it's just blonde hair. I mean,
yeah, it's blonde so far. Well, the thing is, the miscolored hair is only a new thing. I mean, the original one, she was just blonde, but had it in the thing.
Yeah, she always had the hat on.
Yeah, she always had the hat on. I mean, I actually prefer that. Like, she's just blonde. I don't like the dumb multi-haired color. I think it's stupid.
That was
especially when it
was
was black.
thing, I think.
Yeah, exactly. When it was like black and red, or then it was blue and red, and then it's blonde, blue, and red, depending on which movie you watch, or just fully blonde. You know, it's like, you know, just let her do the thing. Just let her do the thing. It's going to be a new version of Harley Quinn, one way or the other. So, and it's going to be potentially a musical. So, who knows what's going to happen?
Supposedly that's exactly what they've already said it was.
I know, but I just don't want it to be.
I don't mind it depending on how they handle it.
I mean, like,
my biggest negative to the first one was all the Batman related stuff. I get that he's Joker, so he's always Batman related, but I mean they didn't need the Thomas Wayne backstory. He sure as fuck didn't need to meet Bruce Wayne in there. They didn't need to try to make him be Thomas Wayne's kid. None of that shit. All that shit could have been taken out, and that still was a great movie.
I think I liked all that because it gave a reason. I mean, he didn't need to go see Bruce Wayne at all, but the Thomas Wayne backstory was fine for me.
No,
I was fine with it.
It's too close to the sun. It's way. He doesn't need any connection to Batman. His connection to Batman is the fact that he's the polar opposite of Batman. That Batman is very strict and ordered, and he's very chaotic. That's what attracts him to Batman, not the fact that they're half brothers. You know, that's stupid. That's fucking dumb.
I think
I didn't like that. I got all that Batman stuff. I love that movie.
I still think that this universe that this one is set in was always meant to be that he's not that Joker. Like the Joker that we know and love, that, you know, is a Batman foil and all that kind of stuff. In this universe, I think he's going to be like kind of Joker 2. You know, like he's going to be the sequel. I think that's what it's going to be. Like,
and I don't mind, and I'm looking forward. Like I said, I don't mind if this is a musical because it makes sense.
If it's done well, I won't mind it.
If it makes sense inside Joker's crazy fucking head.
Yeah, I agree.
As long as they make sure that you know that this is not happening in the real fucking world. This is just how he sees the world, or this is just how she sees the world. Like all those things, I'm good with.
I hear you turning your PlayStation on.
Well, it went into sleep mode, and I didn't want my TV to turn off.
Yeah.
Was that?
So,
sorry about that.
Oh, by the way, I if you don't have it already, I suggest getting the media controller instead of having to use the actual controller for everything if you're going to be watching other stuff on it. But I don't know if you.
I already got it ordered.
Yeah, I picked one up.
But it's white.
Yeah, I know. But like day one, I know white things. Fucking, it's horrible.
No, it's
not have white things.
I hate all things white. You know. You know.
I know. Yeah.
But no, to me, it's just it doesn't match. Every PlayStation that I have over there, I get that the first one was gray. I know, calm your assholes, people. Don't write about it. But 2, 3, 4, and now 5, they should all have been black. Like, and everything else is black, and
it made no sense to make it white
on my stand.
But see, like, I can't talk because all of my Xboxes are different.
Yeah,
because they're all the Halo ones.
Purposely bought for a specific thing.
Yeah, but they're all different. Like, they're all specifically different colored. I mean, like, even when I had an original white 360, and then, of course, I had the...
Put the skin on it.
No, I didn't have the skin on it. But I got the Halo 3 version. So, you know, I had both of those. But I never had... I had a... Did I have a black one? Yeah, I did. No, when my white one died, I bought a black one.
Yeah. My
white one was Red Ring of Death all the fucking time. I did all the fixes, and it wouldn't last more than like 6 months. No, not 6 months, like 6 weeks.
I got the controller in here somewhere, the UNSC one, the one that's like, it's see-through and it has the logo like over by the handle and it lights up, the whole thing does. I have that one in here somewhere.
So let's talk about the other thing that a trailer happened for.
Please, dear God.
The
Yes.
Batman movie.
I hate all people on the internet that talk shit. All y'all can go fuck yourselves. The Ezra Miller shit's over and fucking done with. We are on 89 Batman now. Fuck off with the rest of that bullshit. I'm down for it. I know some people are mad.
It's trash.
People are mad because this is going to be a 89 Batman continuation. It's not Thomas Wayne Batman like it's supposed to be.
It's trash.
In Flashpoint.
Well, actually, as far as we know, as far as we assume, he's not Thomas Wayne. We actually don't know. Like, it does seem like that.
True. They could say that he's, but I saw a screenshot of all the
bat suits.
Bat suits. There's definitely 89 suit in there, definitely a return suit in there, definitely all these different suits that they show.
One of them, yeah. So one of them. What's interesting is like, yes, we got the 89, we got the returns, and then I guess there's
like a Hush looking one, the Jim Lee Hush looking one.
There's the blue and gray.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's one that definitely looks like Flashpoint. It looks like the Thomas Wayne one. And then there's like the scuba suit from the movie line from way back in the day. So
it can't be the Thomas one would stood out like a
I think it's not
gray with the red symbol and the red belt.
So I think it's the first one. It could be wrong, but I think it's the first one in that picture to the left. I think is a reference to the Thomas Wayne suit. I could be wrong, but that's what I heard when watching a thing. Like the fact that we have at least 2 Batmen in this, we do have I almost said Henry Cavill. We do have Affleck's Batman at first. So in theory, maybe he helps him go back in time, like because there's series that in the way the MCU has Spider-Man and Iron Man.
Well,
it might be
a Flashpoint story because remember Bruce Thomas Wayne sends a letter
into the future. Yeah, well, quote unquote future.
The other
universe. Yeah.
So since they're showing both those Bruce Waynes, they could probably, or both Batmans, they could get away with still tying that in.
Yeah, and there may or may not be multiple Batmen in this movie if he's doing universe hopping. Because in theory, he may have gone back in time to save his mom. And we see that in a trailer where he says, this is the one where my mom lives. But it also might be that he not just changed the future, but then also accidentally did multiverse hopping. So we see multiple Flashes in this. We see a younger Barry who hasn't necessarily become the Flash yet. And then where he's like, it's supposed to be like 2013 Barry, I believe is what they keep saying. He's in 2013. And like he's not the Flash yet. But then we see another Flash who's wearing a black suit that looks like the Flash suit painted black. And then there's that teaser poster where it's the bats, where it's like the I forget what it is. Is it it's the Flash logo on the bat suit. So or it's the bat suit painted red and the Flash suit on it. So there's something going on there with the Batman / Flash interactions that are going to be at the.
They just want to keep reminding people to ignore the stupid Ezra Miller bullshit. Come see Batman.
I mostly want to just be pissed off because it's not really a Flashpoint story. They're changing it too much, and they're not following the spirit of.
They're literally following the source. You're just trying to be an asshole because everybody hates She-Hulk except for you.
No, that's but
you're
that
literally being a contrary and just
it's your argument. It's your argument against She-Hulk.
This does follow the spirit of Flashpoint.
It doesn't
not follow the spirit of She-Hulk.
It doesn't, because he meets a Bruce Wayne in the past who's now helping him.
You don't know that Bruce Wayne, like you just flat out said yourself.
Yep.
So
and here's another thing.
I saw She-Hulk.
Supergirl.
I saw She-Hulk before
Supergirl.
I talk shit about it.
Supergirl.
That's the only thing they've actually outright changed was Supergirl.
No Superman. No, I almost said Asgard. No Themyscira and Atlantis.
That's the problem. That's the problem with your argument. You're just trying to be an asshole and say, you guys did to my show that I loved. I actually watched She-Hulk and then made those comments. This is a movie hasn't come out yet, and you're trying to tie it all in. It doesn't work that way.
Well, because everything they showed in the trailer goes against it.
Look, Mike Jr., you can't just base your hatred of something on a single little.
But remember, Mike. Everything Mike hated about Moon Knight was how deviated it was from the source
Yeah,
material.
but that was after he watched the thing,
That's as he was watching
watched
the
a
thing.
commercial for it.
Exactly.
You're
But
basing yours on a commercial.
all you got to see is that he goes back in time to an 89 Batman. Supposedly goes back in time.
You don't know that he goes back to an 89 Batman. You know he goes back in time to save his mom. That Batman could be part of a different multiverse. Because
I don't think he goes back in time. I think he just universe hops. I think he
runs straight across.
I think he goes straight across. I think they eliminate the time travel. I think Bruce tries to talk him into saving his parents, and instead of doing that, he ends up running across to another multiverse.
I don't know.
Because remember, he doesn't talk about time travel. He talks about this is the one universe that my mom lives.
I'm down for that. I get that it's not time travel.
But they also seem to have stuff where he needs to get his powers back. So, but that only happens because of what we don't even have an established Reverse Flash in this universe, but I guess we're going to have one if we're doing anything close to Flashpoint. We see the Flash ring, which is cool.
I thought that was pretty cool how they did that one, how it opened up.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But like the new Flash suit, we don't know if he wears that through the whole thing or if that's his new suit.
They kept showing looks very old schooly Flash suit, and I loved it.
I hated the armor. Like I hated the armored look. I thought
the armored makes more sense, but I love the fact that they went with the old one.
It made sense when he was on his own and didn't have a billionaire.
No, it makes sense when you're running literally through fucking time. You want as much protection of your skin against everything going past you.
Well, all you need is something frictionless. But the thing for the suit update was set up in the crossover with the CW Flash because he saw that Barry's suit and then when they talked to each other briefly, because that was only for like 2 minutes before he popped back into the Speed Force. He took ideas from that Barry suit that has the yellow streaks and everything else like that. So they'll probably be
the Ezra Miller Flash was on the Flash TV show.
Yes,
that sounds like fanfic bullshit.
No, during the Crisis for Infinite Earths thing, very briefly he popped in, like he popped into Star Labs, and then they had a quick conversation, and then he was gone.
I didn't hear none of this.
Yeah, you can find it.
I haven't seen it, but
I've watched it because they talk about each other's suits because it's the first Barry that's different. Like he's run into other Barrys and he's run into other Flashes, but he's never run into one that was very, very different. So the Ezra Miller Barry is super different compared to this one. They never did get us a white Wally West though. We only got the black Wally West. So they never found that universe, unfortunately. That would have been interesting to get the redhead Wally West.
Build towards impulse.
Huh?
Build towards impulse.
Yeah. Well, no, they gave us impulse. They gave us. Is it impulse?
It was a girl. Wasn't it? Did they make her a female?
There's impulse was a female in the show. I don't know if impulse was a female.
In the comics, it was like Barry and what's her face's grandson, right?
That's Bart. Bart is in this show.
Bart is impulse.
Okay. I thought it was, they might have renamed some people then. I think they did. So they did, because Bart becomes Kid Flash for a little bit after Wally stops being Kid Flash and becomes regular Flash. But in the show, they didn't do that because he stayed Kid Flash and then went off into the multiverse and time travel with the Legends because they didn't need 17 fucking Flashes. But they expanded on the Flash family in the show by meeting his daughter first, and then Bart comes from the future.
Henry Allen 2 is a superhero appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics.
You still there?
Yeah. Why did that happen?
Why? What happened?
Why did I just hear a Google search?
Oh, because I was looking up to see if Impulse was actually Bart Allen.
Oh.
And how the fuck did you hear that? I had my microphone muted.
Because you didn't have your microphone muted.
I promise you I did.
Well, clearly not. I heard all of that. Hold on.
Can you hear me talking right now?
Yeah.
I'm looking at my microphone. My microphone is turned off.
Clearly not.
It must be trash ass coming through a different microphone.
Might be. Okay, so he was Impulse.
Yeah,
he was
Bart
Impulse.
Bart Allen 2.
Well, yeah, he's Barry 2. He's the second.
Yeah.
Let me look up, because I think they actually...
He first appeared as Impulse and later became the second Kid Flash and the fourth Flash.
Because I'm thinking, because I think there was another.
He's not Barry's kid.
No, he's his grandson. No, but I'm saying in the show, Barry's daughter comes back from the future at some point. Then she disappears. Then his twins come back from the future, and then at some point, Impulse shows up, or in this case, Bart. But no, I could have sworn, as a stupid thing, there was another character. Yes.
Aha. See, I don't know how it changed microphones.
That's why you've been sounding different.
Yeah, because fucking, I don't know what microphone that was coming through. Just fucking Discord can suck my taint, dude.
Hold on. Like, because earlier I could hear a whole lot of background noise, and then all of a sudden you started sounding clearer, and then it started doing it again. I think every time you mute, it switches microphones.
Is that what it is? It's auto switching?
I think so, because that's why I could keep hearing. Like, when you left earlier to go pee, you thought you muted, I could hear.
It's set to voice activity.
That's weird.
It's set to microphone, this one. Output device.
It would be input, but yeah.
No, I'm saying there. It's
also yeah.
Output.
I'm trying to remember what this other character.
I don't fucking know, man. Discord's losing its shit, man.
Yeah, that was weird because like every time you so-called muted, I could still hear.
That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. I'm trying to remember because there was another. Give me just a quick second. I'm doing a quick search because there was another female speedster that happened early on in the show, and I thought they called her Impulse briefly.
They might have, but I'm saying in the comics, I don't.
No. I know. I totally understand that Bart Allen is Impulse, but what I'm saying is I think that he might have got that name from that character because she was using what is that stuff? V9 or whatever, the blue stuff. Okay, so they brought in Jesse Quick. They had Jesse Quick, Kid Flash. I don't think they got to Max Mercury. They had a bunch of the different Flashes. Godspeed. They did Godspeed really badly. Actually, here's the image right here of the two berries talking. That's funny. Iris was a female Flash for a few minutes, which was terrible. We should never do that again. There was Savitar. Hold on, just give me. I'm gonna do evil speedsters. Make my life easy. Because they saved that chick's character or her costume and gave it to someone else later. That's why I was confused. I'll look it up later, but like, because Eobard Thawne was still around and then doing other things in that universe. Then we even got the Black Racer. We got Zoom. We never got Red Death, but that would have been cool. I'm surprised they didn't get that far. We got what's his face, the first Flash. What can't I think of his name? Jay.
Oh, yeah, Garrick.
Jay Garrick. So we got two versions of Jay Garrick, which was cool.
And then the first Flash I thought was like, was it Scott? What was his name?
Or was that the first Green Lantern?
Oh, the Green Lantern. Yeah, that was
that's first Green Lantern. Yeah.
I always thought it was like, okay, fucked up,
fine.
Up, and I'm gonna try to keep it politically.
Oh, so
they retroactively made him a homosexual character, the original Green.
Oh yeah. Wasn't that that was in
Justice Society or whatever? He was the Justice Society Green Lantern.
Yeah, no. They brought him up in not the Watchmen sequel.
Sure. So
Doomsday Clock.
So,
so they brought him up in that, which was interesting.
This is the part that I'm going to try my hardest to get through without laughing my ass off.
Okay.
Do you now Green Lantern's weakness is yellow.
Yes.
That's the thing. Fear.
Yeah.
Do you
know mind killer?
Do you know what the first Green Lantern's weakness was?
Wood.
Yes.
Like Doctor Who. I knew that. I actually did know that. No, okay, so they actually retconned Impulse.
Yeah.
He was Barry's son in the show, not his great-grandson from like way in the future.
Well, it wasn't great-grandson. I think it's just his grandson in the comics.
Either way, he was from like significantly far in the future. And so, but no, he is his son. Yeah, he's his son in this. So he's part of the Wonder Twins or whatever they called them.
Yeah.
The Tornado Twins, I guess.
Yeah. All right, we gotta start wrapping up.
Yep,
dude.
we're done. We're good. That was just side conversation about the Flash. So, but no, the movie, I don't care, but I'll still see it.
I'm excited, of course, for the Batman parts. I don't care what anybody says. I love the nostalgia of having him in. I hope they don't ruin it.
So in theory,
but as far as the movie in and of itself goes, I'm just there for the reset.
Yeah. So in theory, he goes into an alternate universe, not time travel, where Superman dies, Zod takes over.
Superman doesn't die.
Yeah,
Superman was captured. That's what Supergirl was captured. They don't ever see the light of the day. Remember, that's how they kept them all skinny.
I know that's what happened in Flashpoint, but I think in this one,
it looks like that's what happened to her.
I think what they're I think that she was captured, which actually Zack Snyder said the open pod that Clark finds in the ship was her pod. So she is canonical to that Snyderverse. So I think she was captured. She's in whatever government prison, locked down, basically like he was in Flashpoint. Because he landed in Metropolis, not Smallville, if I remember correctly. Or, yeah. So he crash landed in Metropolis and they captured him then. But I think in this one, Superman gets killed by Zod, like in the events of Man of Steel. Because you see the attack. You see the attack on Gotham and Metropolis. So I think Superman's supposed to die in that alternate future. That's why they're all fighting Zod and who's like taken over. So I think that's what. So it's going to be a whole lot of movie. Like there's got to be whatever setup, then whatever stuff with Michael Keaton, which I think he's going to. It's hard to know because
I don't even think it's going to be that big a part of the movie.
I think it's going to be a decent part because
I know I want it to be more, but I think it's going to be like a 20-30 minute bit of a 2-hour movie.
You would think so. Like the confusing part is that we also see Batfleck on a new Bat bike, but we also
that was the 89 Batman.
No, it's not. That's actually Batfleck. Yes. But the confusing part is that we do see Batfleck in a gray and blue modern suit, like scooching down a highway on his feet somehow. So and then you see the
89 Batmobile, you see the Batwing that got shot down by Joker.
Yeah, so you see the Batwing, but the weird part is that there's a new Batwing in the battle with Zod. But we don't know which Batman is piloting it. So the thing is we might be hopping a bunch of universes and or timelines. So it's going to be confusing until we get
if
more
it's Batman heavy and they made him cool, I'm good with that.
I think it's just because Flashpoint is just as much a Batman story as it is
it became
Flash story.
It wasn't originally.
Yeah. But then like
it's the Thomas Wayne Flashpoint Batman and those stories and all that were actually offshoots of the main Flashpoint story.
Yeah, and the fact that we found out
Mom and all that.
Yeah. And the fact that the comics has continued on, like there's a whole Flashpoint series now. If you're not following modern comics, this is for everybody, not just you. So like they thought that once Barry changed things again, stopped himself from ever going back, that they thought it all reverted until the button happened, and then they found out that universe was still going. You know, and that was crazy. And then they thought maybe even after all the Dark Knight's Metal stuff happened, that universe would go away. Nope, still going, to the point that we've got like Batman Beyond Flashpoint. Like it's like I don't know who Batman is in that universe where it's the Beyond years, but it exists. You know, there's and they have a Flashpoint Joker comic where it's following her, which I love that. I always loved that story that Martha Wayne went insane, lost her shit, and became the Joker as a result of Bruce dying. And then now it comes, you know, husband and wife, you know, being offset things. And the fact that Batman is a constant somehow in the universe, even if it's not Bruce Wayne, is also interesting. So, like, that's why I always loved the Flashpoint story. I love that universe. But it seems like they're only going to, like maybe 20% of it, you know, and then just whatever they're going to do. I'm still going to say it's trash until it's not. That's basically how it's going to go. Trash until it's not. That's
She-Hulk season 2 and 3 are also trash.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, we are. If we want to just make up what we want to without having seen it, then I can do that too. You can't make different rules for me.
Well, the thing is like those are things that are not confirmed to exist. This movie does exist.
This movie has existed for years. They're just not putting it out because the Ezra Miller stuff is over.
No, I think they were making changes behind the scenes.
I think they were waiting until that Ezra Miller shit finished, because if he had been found guilty and went to like prison for all that crazy shit everybody was saying he was doing, they would not have put this movie out.
I mean, worst case scenario, they could have just rewrote his contract because he performed criminal actions while under contract. So it's possible that they could have got out of paying him and just said fuck it. And
that's not the part they would have been worried about. They would have been worried about. Look, even now,
I get that.
Even with all the charges being dropped, and he was only guilty of one thing, and it wasn't as bad as everybody made it out to be. People are still, we're going to see a movie with a kidnapper in it. Like, come on, man, you can't kidnap a 19-year-old person who goes with you willingly.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing with
fucking dumb.
It's the same thing with anything with Kevin Spacey now. Mm-hmm. Like good luck ever seeing him effectively in something after everything he went through. Yeah. I mean, he'll be forever changed. Same thing with we'll see what happens with Alec Baldwin's future in Hollywood. You know, we'll see if he'll ever sell a movie again. You know, depending, other than this one that they're going to finish. But what I was getting at was like, you know, there's no proof that we're ever going to get She-Hulk in the future. So this movie does exist. But the other point was that odds are they probably made changes since they've had like 2 years to rewrite, especially knowing that they needed to reboot the universe anyways. Mm-hmm. So it's entirely possible that either we'll never get this Barry, or if he does a final reset like at the end of Flashpoint, you know, that it results in somehow getting us to whatever the James Gunn verse is. Yeah. And if he changes
stuff anyways.
If he changes the future or the past, or however you want to look at it, and like he comes out as Grant Gustin on the other end, I will be super happy. It's like, instead of being Ezra Miller, they just say fuck it.
Your problem isn't the fact that it's Flashpoint. Your problem is still Ezra Miller.
No, I don't care that it's Ezra Miller, but my point is everyone
they're making this exact movie with Gustin or whatever, you wouldn't be.
Oh, do you know how many people would be amazingly happy if they did that? Because
exactly my point.
No, because more people like Grant Gustin as the fucking Flash and wonder why they wouldn't do it.
That doesn't make the movie trash. That makes you don't like that actor.
No, I'm saying that the movie would be awesome if it ended with him turning into Grant Gustin somehow.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is if he was in this movie already and this movie was him starring in it and it's this exact same movie, you wouldn't be calling it trash.
Oh, more people would be happy about that, not just me, because everybody prefers Grant Gustin's Flash.
You're still missing my point.
No, I don't care if it's Ezra Miller as a Flash. I don't care if it's anybody else, because everybody would prefer it's Grant Gustin. I don't care what I didn't like Ezra Miller as a Flash before he committed any crimes. I hated his version of Barry Allen. Everyone hated that they gave us a new version of a character that had already been done and was still active. That's why it was stupid in the first place.
Yeah, but they were separate from
and then they had him fucking cross over. That's why weird one. That's why it's even stupider.
That's the weird one.
It's like we already have a Justice League. We're well, more or less have a we now, depending on which universe you're in, you already have a new Superman. You already have a Batman that existed somewhere but no longer does. You have fucking Green Arrow, or had Green Arrow. You've got the Flash. You've got all these other fucking DC superheroes that exist out there, and they're like, we're gonna ignore all of that completely and do our own thing over here. And then when everybody loves that and doesn't like this, we're going to can all of that so that you'll be forced to love this. Like, so fucking dumb. And that's why I deserve to be rebooted. Anyways, that's the end of the episode, guys, because we got to go. It's like 5 o'clock over here and 6 o'clock over there. So either way, do the like and subscribe thing. If you want to contact us, do so at the NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail at gmail.com. I didn't do any of our promos to begin with. Of course, I'm Shoky. Do all the Shoky stuff. Buy merch, please. And then, of course, you got Rikki, does stuff for Nerd Rage Radio on Facebook. And then, of course, on Realm Hatton Project on Friday nights on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. Links are down below. Rusty's not here because he was busy on something. So, sad. We missed Rusty. He didn't get to hear the explanation from Rikki. He'll have to wait until this episode comes out to hear it. But I'm gonna edit this episode pretty quick and try to get it out for tomorrow anyways. So you guys will be hearing this almost as soon as possible from when we recorded it. But with that,
almost.
Yep. But with that, okay, bye.
Bye.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.